Oh, good evening and welcome to Garblag Games. I'm back again. It's Friday night and we're playing Bedlam Hill, episode 5. Fear not, Alvin will be joining us in a little while. And we're playing Bedlam Hill.
Oh my god, there are two Bens.
Oh no!
What? Sorry.
Fine,
I was just
we'll
pleased
fix
it
in
wasn't
post.
me. I thought it was me that messed it up. I was like, what
I
have I
thought it
done?
was me, so we're all going, oh God, it's me. None of
Yeah,
us,
I know.
none of us, nobody did anything.
Ben's a great ventriloquist.
Yes, that's what it is. The bottle of gear. True story though, we used to have a quiz team, me and my friend Ben, when we were teenagers out in the Middle East. We called ourselves Ben and Ben's Excellent Adventure. That was the name of our quiz team. We didn't win.
Ben and Bob, but the Bob is actually a Ben.
Yeah. Ooh, Ben resonates through the ether of all space-time. I'll take that. Thanks, non-anomaly. You can have a reroll for that.
A life reroll. No.
All right, so we're playing Bedlam Hill, a Spire game. We're fast approaching the exciting climax of our story. Our players have been scurrying around the streets of Derelictus, the lowest level of the Spire, where the poorest of the poor are forced to dwell in squalor and ignominy. And a fairly recently built asylum on the border between Derelictus and St. Perdita's Circle has been causing people a little bit of grief recently. They've been pulling people off the streets, locking them up for various types of insanity. Many of them are never seen again. Our adventurous players have discovered strange things are afoot in the Bedlam Hill Sanatorium and Asylum and have begun an investigation and quite possibly an aggressive investigation soon to follow to find out what's going on inside. Over to Nye for a quick rundown on what he got up to last week and who he's playing.
Oh fuck. Okay. Right.
That is what he got up to
hi.
last week, to be
Yeah,
fair.
I did. I can't deny that.
Weekly pop
Hello.
quiz.
Yeah, I'm Nye. Hello. I'm playing Rex, the Knight of the Lazy Dog. And I didn't do much because I thought I'd be really smart and awful and manipulate someone, but in actuality, I didn't achieve anything in doing that. So yeah, I tried to getting good with the Church of the Gun, and I guess it worked, but the goal that I was trying to go for was to like to do the things that I'd been told to do, and in actuality I just ended up getting shotgun married. Well, I guess we're not married yet, to one of the cultists, which I'm not super happy with in the grand scheme of things. Kind of wishing I hadn't really gone down that road, but you know, you live and learn. I guess this is the life of a double agent. I don't know.
For the revolution, comrade.
Yeah, oh god, Jesus. Okay. But you want to talk about advancements because we got
Yes,
low advancement.
everybody got an advancement, lower advancement.
Yeah.
So you took.
I took Braggadosha or Shish or however you say it. I said it properly, like off recording, but I have to. Apparently, I can't say words right when I'm on camera.
It is contractual.
And basically, what it does is it gives me the deceive skill, and once per session, I can basically state I can do something, even though I actually can't do it. So basically, I can just lie my arse off, and people kind of have to. Well, they don't have to believe it, but I can lie basically. Is the short answer. Is this like pass the parcel? Do I have to choose who's next?
You can pass the parcel.
Okay, well, on my screen, Leon is right of me. So, yeah, it's Leon's turn. I don't know what the camera setup is.
Okay. No, that's pretty close if you're going clockwise. That's Ben, you, then me.
I'm cool, yeah.
I'm playing Lucian, a mask, and I got to do some sneaky stuff last week. So, as part of Samedi's great plan, we needed to get hold of the signatures of the chief doctor of Bedlam and Mr. Winter, the legitimate business elf here. So I ran around and I got a messenger to make a fake invitation for the chief medical. Is it chief medical officer? Chief medical director?
It's just a doctor.
Just the doctor of Bedlam, to try and get their signature, and went to the accountants of Mr. Winter and in order to secure a signature from there, which was then faked
It's
onto
full on
a
heist-tastic,
execution
your visit to
order.
the accountant's office. That was spectacular.
Got a lot of information about the accounts area. It's very, very secure. And then went to the Church of the Gun, pretending to be a journalist, to tell Brother Hellion that Mr. Winter was going to be moving against him for not going quick enough in this whole arena scheme and getting on board. And then I think it's pretty good to hand over to Samedi to carry on the rest of what happened with that bit of the story.
Great. Hi, I'm Aaron. I am playing Samedi, the Carrion priest, with his faithful hyena companion, Ged. And for my low advance, I took Cackle, which is as fun as it sounds. I mark a little bit of stress to either my mind or body. And then Ged and I cackle. And for the next minute, all enemies have their difficulty rating reduced by 1. And what a difficulty rating is in this game is if you're dealing with enemies that are have a difficulty rating of 1 or 2, you would have to remove that many dice from your dice pool when you engaged with them. So the ability to reduce their difficulty rating by 1, particularly when we're facing up against the doctor or the nurse, that might help us out a bit. So that's why I took Cackle. Last week, Samedi met with one of his bonds, a good friend of his, and someone he's trying to bring into the ministry, a Mortician's Guild executioner named Babako. And by the way, if you're interested in Mortician's Guild executioners, they're going to be, the character class is actually going to be in the new Spire source book called Sin. It's on Kickstarter right now. And Rowan, Rook, and Deckard actually put up a preview of that on their blog site today. And it actually is pretty cool. Babako would actually be way more powerful than any of us. But I convinced him to help us by forging a death certificate for Brother Hellion. He wouldn't do it by himself, but he gave us the tools we needed to do it. And Lucian actually did the forgery so well that it looked perfect. And then Babako and Samedi went to Brother Hellion, basically stating, Babako stated that he thought this was a fraudulent document and he was investigating it before he actually served the death certificate, which allowed us to convince Brother Hellion that Mr. Winters and the doctor were actually trying to remove him to put a puppet ruler in his place to control the Church of the Gun, because they were afraid that Brother Hellion would not fulfill his agreement at the arena in a couple of days. And that's kind of where we left off, with Brother Hellion sort of agreeing with Samedi that he would fall in with the Knights of North Dock, which is what Nye had convinced him that the Knights were going to fund him, and that he was going to potentially act with us against either the Doctor or Mr. Winter. Mm-hmm. And that will lead on to Pat.
The shenanigans at the crash.
Oh yes, we have many a shenanigan. I'll start by saying the minor advance that I took is the Canticle of Remaking, which means I'm now officially the class healer, the group healer. So
we're gonna need it.
I kind of figured it was between that and the Rite of the Still Mind, which lets me distill my madness. But that one's only once per session. This one I can kind of just do whenever if I roll well, I think. So that's pretty radical. Adventures of the Midwife. Last session, Weaves found herself in a tricky situation. At first, she was intending to go to her matron mother, the midwife, she of long legs, But unfortunately, when we got to the creche where she was being held, or where she works, we found that she was being held by members of the asylum that we are currently so desperately attempting to rid ourselves of. And they were going to take her into the asylum. So thinking quickly, or well, thinking at a normal pace, we decided that we had to act now because this would greatly affect our ability to work in the future, I think. And she already knew too much about us, so we couldn't let her fall into the hands of the asylum. So we kind of staged a bit of a scene, and we seized the cart, took it, liberated the slaves, or well, indentured servants who were working at the front, and well, we brought her back into the creche. The folks there were under the opinion that she was, not being correctly held in the first place. But the police arrived later on, and well, at that point we had to rescue her from her own creche. She'd been drugged, she was unconscious, so we fled with her, or at least we tried to, before the security force arrived, and well, lost our Vermisian sage to the madness zones that he travels, as they noticed him, but not me slipping out the window. That's where we left off.
Yes, so you and She of the Long Legs had made your way to the relative safety of your meeting place with the others.
Is she still?
She is very out of it. Yeah, they've drugged her with something.
Do I know anything about antivenoms, or my connect back at the mushroom dealer? Do you think that she might have something that could? I can't risk being out without her.
Yes, you could try and make a fix and occult roll.
I'm going to be rolling a lot of those today, I think. All right, let me get my stats up. All right. And again, this is just a D6 plus whatever we have.
D10s. Number of D10s.
Oh, 10s. D10s, yes, of course.
Fix and occult.
Okay. All right, I've got my stats up now. Cool.
Maximum of 4 dice. This is something that I got wrong last week.
Yeah, I got it wrong too. All right,
You
so
top out at 4 dice. It's D10s that you roll. And you're looking for anything above a 6, although the higher you get, the better you are.
Okay, it's occult and fix, and as weaves like harp, boom. It never rolls right for me.
So you got a 9, a 6, and a 2. So 9 is very good. So it's a success with no stress. So using various powders and potions and lotions that you scavenge together from the safe house that you're holed up in, you managed to sort of perk her up with a kind of drow turbo coffee.
Oh
yeah.
Oh boy,
it's only a little bit hallucinogenic.
Yeah, that's not going to be a funny. Just going from a downer to an upper immediately is going to be like, whoa.
Yeah, she kind of sits up with a scream. Ah!
I'm sorry about that.
And she sees that she's in an unfamiliar basement with you.
Do you remember what was happening before now? Do you remember anything?
They came to take me away.
Yes.
They were going to take me to the asylum.
They were. We stopped them.
She reaches into her robes behind her back and says, my blades are gone.
Not surprised. I didn't see them.
You got me out.
Yes. And I'm glad I got you out with your mind intact. The things that they do in the asylum.
Yes. Well, we now know that there is definitely someone compromised in the ministry.
Yes.
But I think I know what's happened. I think they've gotten to a minister and then fed their way back up the chain.
Yes, that would
I
make
think
sense.
their ambition thus far has been to catch ministers and then use them to catch their cell and their leader or their contact. And then once they have their contact, they can take their contact's cell and their informant and so on up the chain.
Of course.
Bold of them to go for a midwife so early in the game.
Well, maybe we're not as early in the game as we think we are.
What news?
They're planning something at the arena. Something big. All these mindless dolls that they've made of us. They're going to bring them out in force, and they're going to commit a massive strike at us, at the entirety of the community. They're going to kill everyone in the arena, and they're going to make sure that the Remission heart opens in this domain.
So the arena and the asylum are now linked also.
Yes, they're going to create a moat of blood.
And what are the others doing?
Trying to put an end to it. The gun cultists, misguided though they may be, are almost exactly what we need at this moment. If open war is to be enacted in this arena, then we need soldiers. And we've convinced them to play the part for us. You were wise to point us towards them.
Did you sort out who was funding them?
Yes. Winters. And we've turned them against them.
Excellent. That's wonderful news.
If we can get the ministry to back them in the future, they may serve as pawns for us further after tonight, if they survive.
Well, I am burned now. I can't
I understand, yes.
do very much.
But I'm sure you have contacts that we unburned can...
I do, but we need to get the asylum out of the picture before I can reach out to them.
Of course. This is, this should be a long game. We should be weaving webs, but right now, I think is the time that we have our strands being plucked by something that we cannot resist.
Catch
Tonight
up with your
will be
brothers.
very important.
See what they have done. I will sleep. I will spin a web and sleep within and hope to clear my mind the rest of the way.
Yes, Chris, cocoon cradle you.
She
Sorry,
kind of
Don.
sags again. So
Sorry
she
for the
perked up
brutal
for a few minutes, but now she just looks really exhausted and like she's been through that sort of 3-day bender.
Yes. That tends to happen with the fixative I gave her. All right. Well, I stand up kind of dramatically and look down at her one more time and turn away into the light outside of my dark den.
Meanwhile, back at the Church of the Gun,
Samede is still looking at Brother Hellion. Brother, I hope now that you understand what we're all facing, the risks that we are facing, and the enemies that we are facing. It's only together, you, your church, the knights, and those who work in the shadows like myself, only together can we actually stop what is coming.
it seems to me that I've been played for a fool by Mr. Winners.
Yes.
Do not take kindly to that. Why
No.
is it that you think he's got me caught in the arena?
Oh, that's simple. He needs you to prevent anyone from leaving the arena. He wants Mother Moon's arena to be destroyed in a bath of blood.
Well, they are rivals, as I understand, so I'm not surprised there. But how he could believe that we would let the good folk of Derelictus suffer so, that is truly a mystery to me.
That's my whole point. He knew you wouldn't. That's why he wanted you dead. I think he believes that if you die and he puts someone from his organization in your place to run the church, that they will follow that new person. He doesn't understand how closely you and your followers are knit together. His plan was bound to fail. But if he had been able to go forward with it, you would have been killed. We will need to strike at Winters, but first we need to make sure that the arena is shut down, at least temporarily. And then we need to strike at the asylum before they're allowed to complete their ritual. Then in our leisure, you and I can find a way to make Winter pay.
Well, with this money that you've given me, I will be able to make good on a promise that I've made to set up a more permanent base than our church is here. We'll be able to move into a brick and mortar place on Kiln Street that I've been looking at. But
That's
you have
good.
you have my favor, brother. You have done a good thing. You and Brother Lagrange here, you all have done me a great favor.
Oh, I'm
So if you
still
need
there.
the Church of the Gun, you give us a call and we'll be there. And I think we shan't be following the orders of Mr. Winters anymore.
That's good to hear. As I said earlier, you need to become a power in Derelictus, a power for the people, and we can help you get there.
And I will gratefully accept your help.
Good. We'll be in contact soon. We'll have to move quickly against the arena and the asylum, and I'm sure your help will be what tips it in our favor.
He scribbles an address on a bit of paper and he says, this is where you'll be able to find us in future. We will have dormitories and kitchens, and we'll be lending what aid we can. Also, an armory.
Excellent. If you don't mind, brother, I'd like to speak with Brother Lagrange for a few moments. I want to see if we can rally the knights to our cause as well, not just for their money, but for the strength of their lances.
Well, good luck to you. They say the only man who can rally the knights is the Pendragon.
True, but hopefully we can at least get the Duke to agree to keep the North Docks secure, so that if something does go wrong on Derelictus, it doesn't spread further into the Spire.
You raise a very pertinent point. We'll be taking our leave of this place. I'm going to have my people set down these tents and we're going to move to this new building. But if you need us, you give us a call.
I will, Brother Helen, and thank you.
Leon, is there anything you want to do at this point?
I don't think so. I'm going to take this opportunity to tell everyone about my low advance, which was Citizen's Mask, which allows me to better blend in with the background, and I can sneak mastery if I'm trying to avoid the target, so I just sort of look like a regular person. So I'm going to don my Citizen's Mask. I'm going to assume that what's Eldon's character's called? I've got it on the screen.
Vermisian Sage?
Yes.
Nadir.
I'm going to assume Nadir helped me get materials to make that. So I'm going to just be wandering around with the Church of the Gunfolk, looking like one of them.
Like Visage, Fade to Grey. Nye, what about you and the redoubtable Admiral Rex?
Well,
Brother Lagrange.
what we agreed to was I was going to run back and help Thingy,
Nadir?
Weebs and Nadir with getting
Oh yeah, right.
long
Yes,
legs,
well, that's true.
but they handled it perfectly. So there was nothing I need. So literally, I'm now just running in the streets.
Oh my god.
I'm running back to the creche. I have no idea what's going on.
You'd probably go by my way, I would think, because
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
walking
for the
towards
sake of
guns.
narrative causality, you
Yeah.
actually run into Weaves on the street.
Okay, well there we go. I'm just with Weaves then.
She kind of cuts a figure as she goes down the street.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
out
okay.
of the way.
It's
I'm
like
pretty
in-
noticeable.
Yeah, it's like in the films. Like I was always there, guys. What do you mean? I was just in the background when Weaves and that, and the lady in the long legs were having their conversation.
Yeah. Oh. Wait, no, fuck, what was your character's name?
Right.
Rex.
Oh yeah. God, how could I forget that?
It's fine.
So Rex,
Yes.
we've completed the task. We've extracted She of Longlegs.
Yes.
It was not easy, and is yes the only word you know?
No, I'm just agreeing with you.
Yes,
anyway.
I am, Rex. Yes, you have done your job.
Our Vermisian sage, I'm afraid, is gone with the winds. I have no idea where to find him. He disappeared, and the police certainly saw him.
Well, he'll turn up. He's a Vermisian sage. They have a habit of doing that. It's all good. I'm sure he's fine. He might be a little bit, less sane than last time we saw him, but that's not out of the most unusual.
I'm afraid he may be hunted. They
Well,
saw his
I
face.
mean-
They know he's related to the disappearance of She
Well-
of Longlegs, which I facilitated.
True, but I mean, isn't that kind of like what happens to resistance? Like us ministers, eventually we get found out, we get burned, and then we
Yes,
die.
we don't have to be happy about it, and we don't have to proactively seek
Well-
it out.
It's not happiness, it's just part of the job, If we die, so long as we have done our duty to the people, then we can go peacefully in that knowledge. Well, not peacefully. I mean, they fucking eviscerate us. Like, they do not fuck around when they kill ministers. It's a complete nightmare. But,
Yeah.
I mean, we can go, like, mentally, now that we've learned what they do at the asylum. Okay, we don't go peacefully, but maybe that's our rewards, I guess. Oh, God.
I put my
Anyway,
hand on your shoulder and I say yes. Thank you. You are correct. That is to be put so bluntly like that is kind of reassuring.
I've been told I'm very good at being blunt.
Now, you're good at a lot of things. Bluntness is
thank you.
just part of the charm.
Yes.
Now, we have a war to wage. Where are the others?
Okay. Well, I know that some of them will be with the Brotherhood of the Gun, and I guess you'd head that way. But if I'm being honest,
What's their
I don't-
tents?
Yeah, with the tents. I'm not a big fan of the Brotherhood of the Gun, so I don't really want to
I
have
know.
to. Yeah. So yeah. I don't really want to go near there. So maybe we just hang around until they come back, or yeah, that's probably the smart thing. I guess we should also probably hang around here for when Deer shows up, because I don't actually know where he's going to pop up. Hopefully not in like a sewer or something, because the last time that happened, that was just gross.
Ugh, yes. Well, perhaps we should go towards where we think the rest of the party might be.
Okay.
Towards the folks with the guns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can. Okay, let's do that then.
Sorry, I know you
No,
have mixed feelings regarding them. You have played your part admirably, though, I should say.
Oh, that's good. Also, I think that's what they call a pun, because I'm an admiral.
You're an admiral. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't noticed.
Oh.
Midwives don't do puns.
Midwives.
Vicious sarcasm, absolutely.
Yeah, I was about to say, we don't do gentle humor. It's all biting.
Two men walk into a bar. They both die horribly.
Laugh.
Yes.
Okay, well,
So-
moving on.
It's like the opposite of the Jeb Bush. Please clap. Laugh.
Motherfuckers.
Oh, we don't curse. We don't need to.
You return to the tea shop where you met previously.
Mm.
That was like
And-
a perfect phony sound effect of a bottle opening and a drink being poured. Like,
I'm sorry.
if any podcasters, like anyone's listening on the podcast, they're just going to think that we put that in. They're not going to realize that was real.
So you arrive back
Okay.
at the tea shop where you met previously. Samidi joins you there. He was kind of expecting to be first, but lo and behold, there the two of you are just sitting down. Leon, you've headed off with, or you haven't, but Lucian has headed off with the Church of the Gun folks, and true to their word, they're packing up tents, sticking things in boxes and bags and carryalls, and shipping everything along to Kiln Street, which is one of the bigger thoroughfares in Derelictus, where they've got a shop front on a terraced building that's 4 stories high, and they're sort of unloading stuff into there. They've got some stuff going down into a basement. There's a couple of drow helping them unload, laborers and workers. And Brother Hellion is kind of overseeing the whole thing, pointing out directions. The tents go out the back of this house into the small garden that's out there. And he's having people stow stuff in the building in various locations. But he also has them setting up sentries in the windows, particularly on the upper floors, starting to build an arsenal upstairs. So he's definitely fortifying his position.
Yo, where's this box go? Gonna pick up a box.
So they're directing you to various places to drop stuff off. Now, from what you know, this building is not owned by Mr. Winter or by Mother Moon, which suggests that it's probably the property of the sisters, the other landlords in Derelictus. The 3 main landlords of those 3, they own pretty much everything down here. So it's entirely possible that he got it at a knockdown rate just in an attempt to pry him away from Winters that way as well. So you're prepared to go out on a limb and guess that Mr. Winters is probably not his happiest right now, not living his best life.
Okay. I'm going to try and keep an eye out, see if anyone's watching the move, if anyone seems to be keeping an eye on what's going on there. It doesn't just seem to be a curious neighbour.
Okay, could you make an investigate and low society roll then, please?
Yes.
Is your like cover name Sylvester Saloon?
That'd be Leroy.
Oh, Leroy. Okay, that works as well.
Nice. I heard Leroy was here.
What if it's 2 dice for this one. Oh, only 2 dice. I failed this time. I shouldn't have got cocky.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Naranix Z gave me a reroll, so I'm good for that. Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah, of course.
There we go. For a minute there, we thought the 2 dice
Darling.
rule was going to forsake you, but it pulled through. You're fairly sure that some of the people in this street who are loitering around and sweeping the road or dropping off boxes of goods in nearby businesses are probably in the employ of Mr. Winter or of Mother Moon, but nobody appears to be doing anything more than sort of keeping an eye out.
Yeah,
You're pretty sure that there are maybe 4 agents watching this place, but very low-level agents, the kind of people who you pay to just keep an eye out and maybe tip you a nod if something's going down. There's not like a crack team of assassins waiting by in a nearby building or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's all just observe and report stuff, and every street's got those.
Okay, that seems fine. I don't think there's anything worth snooping around. It's all in boxes. I'm unloading it. I think
It's guns, bullets,
it's guns
food,
and bullets.
Hessian.
Yeah. I know where they are now, so I'm going to head back to the cafe. Yo, Union Brig! Walk off.
Yeah, and then like as soon as you go to like, wait, we have a union, and then suddenly Brother Hellit's got a whole new thing that he's got. We have a union. What? We're a religious order. What union would we have? Well, we have one now. Oh, okay.
So Samede looks over at Rex, and he's like, "So, Brother Lagrange, I met your fiance. Lovely
Yeah.
girl.
Oh
Lovely
God,
girl.
don't worry. There'll be a divorce in the future if life happens. Because
I don't
God,
know.
I don't.
It would place you in the church in
I
a position
really-
of control. The ministry may require the
Oh
sacrifice of you.
God. Oh,
It would. It
oh,
would.
God, fucking.
Didn't you mention something about taking one for the team and doing all sorts of heroic?
I did, but
sacrifices?
that's being horribly mutilated. Not having an entire family relation to people that love guns, just a little bit too much. Like,
Admiral, I very much respect the subtlety you showed there. We'll start to have to call you Brother Lagrange from now on.
oh, please don't.
Well done.
Please. Oh God.
Were you guys-
Brother Lagrange?
Oh, fucking it. Well,
Maji, were you able to free She of Long Legs?
Yes. Though we did suffer some hardship in the process, I believe our remission sage was seen by the powers that be, leaving the scene as I escaped. I don't know where he is, but I'm assuming somewhere in the Vermitian, if we're lucky.
Fortunately, the city guard rarely come down here, so once he pops back up, we should at very least have enough time to finish our primary mission before perhaps we need to visit an occultist to give him a new face.
Quite possible. But she is safe. I have
good.
Secured her.
We can only assume that we are possibly burned as well, but we still have work to do.
At the very least, she is. But yes, we may be running on borrowed time.
You wouldn't
things have
actually be
transpired.
burned yet because she knows about you but hasn't had a chance to be questioned. And as
Yeah,
far as
she-
you're aware, she's the only one that knows about you unless she's reported you up. But it looks like she's as far up the food chain as they've got so far.
Yeah, well then, never mind.
So
Oh.
you may or
Yeah.
may not be burned.
We're
Well,
probably not burned,
yeah.
but we should keep our.
Yeah, we probably don't want to make it
Yourselves.
a goal to get burned, you know?
No,
Indeed.
no.
Gotta get our longevity out there.
Well, once Lucian returns, he went with the Church of the Gun to reconnoiter their new location. By the way, Brother Hellion did agree to support us in either our assault on the arena or Bedlam Hill, and we've driven a
Perfect.
permanent wedge between him and Mr. Winter. Once
Yeah.
Lucian returns, though, we need to figure out how we're going to execute this assault. I think we need to understand the arena a little bit better, because if we fail in Bedlam Hill and all die, we need to make sure they're not capable of completing their ritual at the arena. So I think first we have to infiltrate there and see what we can do to disrupt their operations. But we only have a day, so we'll have to do it quickly.
I was thinking maybe only some of us do that and the others get the preparations underway, because then that way we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. The only reason I say that is because I imagine we'll have to wait, how are we getting in the asylum again?
Well, we've got an armored cart now, from what I've been told.
We do.
Oh, okay. We're going
And we have
smash.
orderly clothes.
And their
that we
masks.
acquired. Indeed.
And we have a church full of gun-toting humans and drow who could make an excellent distraction if they decided to strike at the open wards while we use the cart to infiltrate in the back way.
Okay. That's
Just
okay.
a thought.
No, I mean, Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. There's a lot of people we got to get out, so a big distraction's needed.
And the
Admittedly,
Church of the
though,
Gun would be able to free all of those people and get them
true,
out
but
with them.
isn't that going to burn them as an organization? Because then they'll become a terrorist group, and they do not have the same network that the ministry does. So I imagine as soon as that I mean, what am I saying? I fucking hate them. So yeah, let's do this.
No, you're thinking wisely. Perhaps we use them at the arena instead to perform a heroic act and shut down a terrorist attack instead.
Yeah, but then the hoity-toity folk up above us are gonna go all something to put under our control. That's what they sound like. Alfie or
That's
something
how
like
it
that, I think.
always is.
I don't think we can allow the arena to get far to the point where the ritual might happen. We need to shut it down today.
Okay.
I think you're right, though. Burning Brother Hellion's group would be unfortunate. However, if there's none of the orderlies or the doctors are left alive in the asylum, I don't think the people of Derelictus are going to out Brother Hellion, especially not when he has the supposed support of the Knights of North Dock.
No, I know, I recognize that, but I'm saying like the stuff they've been doing now would probably have to either, if not stop, would be brought to a degree of control, because they can't be openly waving stuff about, because then even though it's Derelictus, I feel like somebody would take notice and go, hey, they're the guys that stormed that super secret asylum place that we were not super secret, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I just think that if we prep all that stuff while some people are checking out the arena, then we can do it. We don't have to be stressed about getting that done in the remaining waning hours of the day, if that makes sense. We can do a night attack, I assume, would be the most optimal. A lot of chaos always goes well with nighttime, and by well I mean you don't want to be in a chaotic situation at night, which is good for us but not so good for them. I'm not good with metaphors.
That's all right, Rex.
Yeah, I'm stretching the limit of my mental capacity at this point. The toaster that is my brain is running hot.
I think you're right, Rex. We should probably split our efforts.
Okay.
Tackle figuring out what we can do to stop the arena, and then prep our assault on the asylum at the same time.
Yeah, squish 2 marshmallows with one hand.
And you already have an in, since you're supposed to be one of the champions fighting in the arena. No one would question why you're there.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Right.
So who's going to go with Rex to the arena, and who's going to go to the asylum?
I have no connection to the folks with the guns, nor have I seen the asylum. I think I'll go with Rex.
Well, I could just go with Lucien.
Not. Lucien? Yeah, would work.
Yeah.
Well, Lucien's working with the gun folks right now, kind of.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I go down there...
Yeah, Lucien, you can hear them saying this about you as you stood right behind them, dressed as a day labourer.
Oh, jeez. Oh, fucking hell, Lucien. Fuck.
I'm back.
I hate that mask
You're almost
thing.
silent as I am.
Have we decided our actions for the day to end the arena?
Listen, do you want to go to the arena with me? We can get some sewer popcorn if you want.
I can accompany you, yes.
Yeah, let's go.
It's important. Figure out how to shut the arena down, at least temporarily, if not permanently. And if you're capable of doing it while you're there, execute whatever plan you see fit.
Gotcha.
Do we want to try and bar the entrance of anyone coming into it before the show starts?
The show's not till tomorrow. I think that's too temporary. We need to significantly damage the arena, either their infrastructure or their ability to conduct operations.
Okay.
Either an assassination of Mother Moon's chief lieutenants, placing it at the making it look like winter moved against her, or finding a way to actually take down the arena physically so that no one can go. Those would be my options, but I'm a little bit more direct, Lucien. You probably will find a more subtle way to handle the problem.
I'll go, or perhaps a night attack. I'm going to tap Rex on the shoulder.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got you. Oh,
The
it's a pun, right?
Masks aren't above doing puns.
We think they're very clever.
understand what you're
The
trying to
knights
imply.
struggle with puns.
By the way, Lucian, I don't know if you are aware, but our dear friend Admiral Rex is now engaged. So try to keep him
Yeah.
alive. His fiancee would
Oh,
hate to see him die.
Oh, congratulations.
For what it's worth, Nye, because player consent is exceptionally
I'm
important.
gonna be
There's no
honest,
way I'm
I-
going to follow that plot line.
no, I'd kind of prefer if we just buried it because
Yeah,
it
that
started
plot
off
line
being
has passed,
funny,
it
but
has
yeah, it
sailed
started becoming a
away,
bit
and we're not
uncomfortable.
going to take it any
yeah.
further because it's clearly making you a little
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
it is.
So
it
we're going
is.
to let it
I
go
should be more upfront
and
about
wash
that.
it off down the river.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
Yeah.
Rex did a thing. Everybody forget the thing.
Yeah, if that's okay.
That's absolutely fine. I notice you are feeling a little discomforted by the pursual of it, so I have no intention of taking it
Yeah.
any further. Don't worry. You're not going to have a shotgun wedding or anything.
Well, yeah,
It was a
yeah.
one-night stand
Which
with
I
a
still feel
member
very
of the
guilty
church
about. Yeah,
that you feel guilty
pretty
about.
scummy thing to do.
That's all it needs
Yeah.
to have been. Don't worry.
Okay.
All is good.
Right. Yes, Lucian. Let's destroy the. Wait. Okay. Well, let's check out the arena, and then maybe we destroy it. Maybe we just fuck it up. I don't know. I'm kind of dim for either.
Okay, and then Samidi and Weaves.
Oh, yes.
What are you guys going to do?
We have a lot of planning to do. I'm preparing.
Okay, well, we'll start with you two heading off to the arena then. Now, the arena in Derelictus is not too far away. I mean, Derelictus isn't a huge place. I mean, it is, because it's the bottom floor of an enormous tower.
Mhm.
But it's built in a giant step well, and it's the Undercity's most popular entertainment destination and murder pit.
Oh,
It's huge.
So
When you
it's
get
like
to it,
it
you
drops down into the ground. It's not like
you can see
walls,
straight away. This
stadium.
is not something you're going to be able to push over some boxes and that's it, problem solved. It's enormous. There are two huge smoking braziers outside the front, providing light and beckoning people in towards the arena.
Is it walled?
It is walled, and there are Knoll guards patrolling around the edges of the arena. So there is a wall.
Mhm.
It's like got one story of wall, but then from there it drops down and into it.
Okay.
There are fights there every night. Most of them are open to the public. Most of them are between people to first blood. There are, however, professional gladiators that work out of there as well. And those professional gladiators will often bet on themselves. And when it's a pro, they will happily kill if need be.
Rex. I
Yes.
suggest we walk the perimeter to see if there are any other entrances and perhaps any underground access to the arena.
Okay. Yeah. No, we can definitely do that. I was thinking because I'm in that kind of mood. What if rather than try and destroy this place, because I'm good at destroying stuff, but I've never tried to destroy like a piece of the ground, like a whole ground place before. What if we just try and like make them have to like reschedule? So like we do something like we get like one of their champions like so that they can't fight this evening or whenever we need to stop them. You know what I mean? Like kind of like when we were kids and we had a recital and like I threw up on Weaves's outfit and we had to postpone it because it wasn't, and then you know it got
That's
Yeah.
certainly a tactic. I think it's worth looking into.
Mhm.
It's more subtle than what I was thinking.
Okay.
I thought maybe we could flood it, but we'll have to
Oh.
see.
Oh, no, I like that. I like that more than that idea. Let's flood this thing.
Nye, can you make a fight and low society roll?
Don't hit me. It was just
No,
an
no, no,
idea.
He loves that idea because then he can use his boat.
Yeah. Okay, I'm rolling. 1, 2. Okay, I'm rolling 4. Oh, I'm rolling. Oh, no, wait, I'm only rolling 3 because I only get the second one if I use my weapon. Oh, yes.
Oh, look at
I
that.
don't know.
Now, it's not your
Sweet.
first time in the arena. You've definitely been there before, and you're pretty sure that while most of the fights are just that, they're stand-up fights. There's the debt fights where people will just fight desperately to try and get out of debt. There's the pro fights where they'll throw in prisoners and let them get horribly butchered by professional gladiators. But then there's also these big performance fights. And what you would know is that the big performance fights need to be scripted.
Right, yeah.
So for this Battle of Far Nujab performance that they're putting on, they must have scripts, costumes, a stockpile of weapons of some kind. So there must be stuff down there to help them tell this story that they want to do as a spectacle. And it's the spectacle that you need to stop rather than the arena itself.
Yeah. Because the arena it's just the building. So if we stop the people doing it, yeah, I follow.
So yeah, there's probably a script and some kind of production kit somewhere in the arena that would enable them to put this on as a show. You thinking about your childhood recitals whilst stood in front of the arena made you realize that there's an element of showmanship to what's going on here.
Exactly, yeah. And that I really shouldn't eat 3-week-old meat that I find at the back of the cupboard.
Correct.
It does, yeah.
That too.
Definitely. I'll never forget that face Weaves made.
And who knew that Drow could be green?
She doesn't forget it either.
No. Okay. Right.
You said forgive. You said forget, but you pronounced forgive.
You said forgive and forget, but you pronounced it weird and said, "I'm gonna kick your arse so hard you're gonna feel it next Sunday." Okay, yeah.
I will remember this.
Weaves will remember this. Okay, yeah. So, Lucian, if we destroy or like fuck up all the stuff that they're gonna use for the fight, then they'll have to postpone to make the stuff. And that one, and it's and like that would be a way of stopping them.
That makes sense. It's a large show they're putting on. There's a good chance they may have already put the props in place inside the arena.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe if we can remove those, and you said there was a script, perhaps.
Yeah.
Docked to that in some way, we might be able to mess up the performance enough.
Yeah. And they're really hard to follow because they use like a lot of words, and like you have to put your foot here, and like one thing I didn't know with these reenactments, one group is supposed to lose and one's supposed to win, but they tell you which one's supposed to win and lose at the start. I didn't know this, so I ended up ruining a reenactment once. Yeah,
I'm going to assume you won.
Yeah, I won. I won really well. But but I was dressed up as a gnoll, and people weren't super happy with the gnolls winning. But that's okay. That's all water under the bridge. Okay, yeah. So let's go in there.
Okay, so we're going to have to try and get in there.
You head up to the door, and there are two rangy-looking gnolls just sort of lounging in the doorway. One's got a glaive propped up against the wall next to him, but is drinking some kind of thick, sludgy, pale blue drink.
Look alive! Brother Lagrange is here. He needs to inspect the armory.
The gnoll kind of
the props,
grabs hold
obviously.
of his glaive and pulls himself up.
Rex
and the other gnoll that's with him unsheaths this kind of spiked mace thing and kind of ambles over to you. Oh.
Brother Lagrange, the champion of the arena fight this weekend.
What did it want?
We need to check the props are properly propped and prepared, and their reenactment authentic. Lagrange, you see, has a masterly rifle.
I pull it up. I hold it up.
The shooting man.
We have to ensure that all the other props on site are as a good quality as this.
Who are you?
I'm Master Lagrange's manservant, obviously. Drow servant, obviously.
Very well. Pass.
I tried to look.
You are coming.
Yeah, I tried to look what Rex thinks somebody really important looks like. So he's doing a lot of like this, like really like over the top, elaborate movements.
But to be fair, these guys are used to seeing gladiators.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Your
Kissing
really
biceps.
terrible attempt at disguise probably works.
Yeah.
It's like overacting while trying to sneak into a wrestling meeting.
Pretty much.
Oh, this guy's good.
Okay, if we're through the walls.
So they let you through into the arena, and you pass through the first wall, and the arena then lays out before you, and it's steps going down into a hole in the ground. There's this big sandy arena in the middle of it. Currently, there are about half a dozen drow with wheelbarrows full of sand, and they're scooping sand out of the wheelbarrows and dumping it on the ground. And then there's a couple of elderly drow males kind of raking it into place. You can see some other drow busy hammering together palm trees made out of like balsa wood and plywood. There's some people painting some of the ones that are already up. And they've got this whole arena that they're trying to make look like what you can only assume they expect people think Farnajab looks like. No, you don't recognize it very much as Farnajab because from what you remember, it was lots of shitty mesas and desert, lots of traumatic grinding through uncomfortably cold nights, uncomfortably hot days, and having to wear 18 layers of clothing just so you didn't go blind or catch fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm looking at this going, they're doing a really
There's a
shit
couple
job.
of gladiators there already, just sort of practicing a little bit in one little quadrant where they haven't put sand down yet. Looks like the pros, and they're not really going at it full force. They're kind of doing this desultory training fighting where they're like, dink, 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 yeah, dink, 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 yeah, dink, 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 yeah. Almost like they're counting hits on one another.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And in some cases, you got them going 1, 2, block, 3, strike, 4, catch the hit, 5, literally counting their way through moves that they're expecting to happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then you've got a little string of ant-like drow coming in and out of one of these arena doorways leading onto the floor, carrying these makeshift bits of prop that they're building up.
Okay. Leon, I thought they would be keeping all the props in like a shed. I'm not really sure how we're gonna like fuck with them now. I like really obviously whispering like
Well, these are just the larger ones. Maybe there's something smaller further down. We should investigate and see what else we can find. Maybe the scripts or...
Oh, yeah.
So I want to look for a director. Does anyone look like they are directing?
Does anyone look incredibly high-strung even though they're doing nothing? Sorry to anyone who's
there is a
directed
small group of drow and a gnoll sat down near the front edge of the sand. Some of them are scribbling frantic notes on cards. One of them's shouting at the others, and there are a couple of people sort of throwing ideas around for what might work and what might look good at the last minute.
We seem to have found the project managers.
Yeah. Let's do that routine we did back at the door. That was really good. I think that's the kind of hoity-toity stuff they like.
Let's do get help.
Okay, do you want to talk to them? Or we're just finding out where all the equipment is again?
Yeah, let's. Oh, wait, but if we, they'll know our faces though. Oh, 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 oh. I have an idea.
Go for
What
it.
if we do that? What if we do that masky face thing you do, right? And I think I've been practicing my lying. So what if we pretend to be like quality control people?
It's a great plan,
And
and I want to be a part of it.
okay, yeah, let's do that. Yeah. Okay, I'll
One of
be
the drow sees
yeah.
you up the
Like
stairs
5
and
feet away.
breaks away from the others. Quite a young-looking chap, and he comes up the stairs towards you.
Okay, I'll do the talking.
He's got sort of baggy, loose pantaloons on and a thin vest. Mother Moon owns the arena, for reference. The Knoll matriarch, apex predator and vicious queen of the Knolls in Spire.
Mhm.
Well-known fact.
Okay.
So this young man comes running up. His vest is tailored in just such a way as to show off the top of his pecs, which, whilst he's quite slender, are clearly well defined.
Okay.
Hello. How can I help you?
Oh, yeah.
Are you've got the gun. Is that the one that we're using?
Yes. I am Archibald. I am a expert in all things relating to the war and the weapons and stuff. I apologize. I should introduce my associates here. This is Barnaby. So I'm Archibald. This is Barnaby. We are both experts in the field of this study. And what we would like to do is we would like to analyze the props you're using. The Historical Reenactment Society of Spire has been concerned that there may not be enough authenticity to the events. And we would like to evaluate if that is the case.
It is a great concern to Mother
Yes.
Moon.
Yes, of course.
Yes, but we've got the historical consultant is already here.
Oh, I've met them, and believe me, young man, they have a name around them, and we call them not very good.
Hi, can you make a deceive and low society roll?
I'm so pleased Rex is taking a lead. This will be great.
Yeah, no, Rex is great at this.
I'm gonna fail though. Oh my god, yes! A 10.
This guy's like, oh, okay, yes. Well, we're just having a script meeting. You can come and sit in on that if you must, if you need to, if you want to go through the paperwork and have a look at what's planned out.
Oh, well.
Obviously, we need to just sign an agreement not to tell anyone.
Oh,
Of
obviously.
course.
But you seem
yes,
like
naturally.
very reputable gentlemen, so I'm
Yes,
sure that
yes.
won't be a problem. Can I get you
Well-
anything? Would you like a coffee or some water?
No, it's quite all right. What I would prefer, and if it's quite okay, would Barnaby here be able to examine some of the smaller, perhaps the props you're using for weapons, or maybe the costumes for some historical inaccuracies that may come up? We saw a flyer, and well, obviously we chuckled to ourselves, thinking this can't possibly be it because there's so many. I mean, we noticed that some of the weapons were 3 inches longer than they should be, and we were thinking,
Let me take you to the director, he says, and he
Okay.
escorts you
Yeah.
down to this
Okay.
big group of about half a dozen drow humans and this solitary knoll
Okay.
who are like shouting ideas at each other. Safe explosives, pikes with collapsible blades, things like that. I'm going to leave you guys there and jump over to the other two for a moment.
We both
So,
fixed
Aaron
the
and Pat.
glasses.
So, Harp, I think we need to take a look at the asylum again. Try to figure out if their security has changed at all. Perhaps, why don't we walk in the front door?
Indeed, it could be as if I was pursuing the disappearance of She of Long Legs.
Exactly.
Would have reason to be there.
I mean, you don't take a midwife out of her creche without having other midwives turn up on your door to ask what the hell you think you're doing.
Most assuredly. And given the response of the midwives that I saw in her creche, they were very confused as to why she had vanished without explanation.
Exactly. I can't imagine the asylum would want all of the midwives motivated to look into their business. You can provide an excellent distraction, and if possible, I could slip away and do a little recon within the asylum itself.
Sounds perfect.
I could go in as your guard at first, or an associate. And then perhaps if Nadir shows up in time, he could sneak in himself and we could try to get a better feel for how the actual asylum is operated.
I concur. This strategy is excellent.
Shall we then walk in the front door of the asylum?
Yes.
And that's what we do. We approach the asylum's front door as a midwife, an enraged midwife, trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and her associate who's trying to protect her since the asylum has clearly lost its mind by taking midwives out of their creche.
The best lie always contains an element of the truth.
I don't even feel like this is going to be a deception roll. I'm frankly quite pissed.
So you storm up to the front gate, pulling on your most priestessly demeanor as you do so. The people in the street nearby kind of stop, see you two walking towards the gate, and some of them kind of back away a little bit and sort of settle down from what they were doing to maybe have a quick watch, see what's what. It looks like it could be interesting. There are two guards on the gate, a human and a drow. The human has a gun. The drow has simply a cudgel and is dressed as an orderly. But he is clearly not a healthcare professional based on his somewhat slovenly appearance and his incredibly large upper body muscles.
As we approach, I set Ged to growl at him, and I say, "Step aside. You dare defy the worship of Ishkra and Charnel this day, and we will seek answers."
Whoa, says the human. Look, I don't care who you think you are. We've got a license to operate the hospital here. You can't just come barging in and expect to talk to whoever you want to.
And you cannot pull midwives out of their creche without paper or purpose. If you will not step aside, I will put you aside.
What's the problem?
Thank you for not letting me talk.
What's the
problem? I have nothing but foul words.
The problem is, She of Long Legs, a senior midwife, was taken from her creche this morning by this institute with no reason and no vindication. And we will, and your administrators will answer for this heinous crime. The midwives and the charnel priests.
I don't know anything about this. You're shooting the messenger. I don't know anything about this.
I demand to speak to your manager.
Oh, she's gone for Karen.
Bring him, her, or them before me, I might speak with them.
Let me get a message inside, and he takes two little flags out.
Of course, take your time. I have all day.
And he lifts them up in the air and then waves them around a little bit to send a signal over to the hospital.
And if you think that only the two of us are coming, you are mistaken. We are just the first two to arrive.
The entire creche is enraged.
He's just about to put the little flags away, and he takes them out and he waves them again. And then he puts them away. And a short while later, another orderly comes walking out. Drow.
Just an orderly.
This time, but it looks like a more senior orderly. This guy's uniform is somewhat cleaner. He doesn't have the cudgel, but he does have a big bundle of keys at his belt. he comes out and he says, looks at the two of you, bows to your priestess.
Where
What's
is
the problem
she?
here? Where's who?
Where is she of long legs?
He opens up his clipboard and he starts going through it. I don't have any patient of that name.
Oh, yes, you don't have a patient of that name. And yet, an orderly driven cart took her away this morning.
What time?
Your fucking asylum.
What time was this? What time?
Out of character. What time? Around
Right.
morning-ish.
Okay. Look, I have a dispatch here saying that some orderlies were sent to collect a very, very ill member of the Midwife's order who needed urgent attention, that they were called in by the members of her creche who said that she was experiencing an episode.
Does it have a name on that paper?
No name on here for
No name on the
sent it.
paper.
Who signed the order?
Who signed? Yes, exactly. Who sent this?
Looks like last night's shift took the call.
Last night's shift. I would like to speak to last night's shifts.
Well, they'll be in again tonight. So if you want to come back then, I'm sure they'll be happy to answer your question.
Take us to your administrator. We've come from her creche. No one there has heard anything of this, and they are rallying all of the midwives to come here to get their sister back. So you deal with us in peace, or you deal with Derelictus in war.
We don't want any kind of conflict. We're here to help.
Open the door and take us to your administrator, or you will see violence on a scale you cannot imagine. And it will
not
start
orchestrated by us,
you.
By the way.
Can you make a compel and low society roll?
How great would it be if the last team for the night shift were the ones that you guys killed? They're just like, oh no, they should have been back by now, actually.
Yeah, let me see. All right.
Can I give her an extra dice as an aid for, my threatening appearance?
Believe it or not, I don't actually have compel. I have deceive. So, wow. So this will be 3d6.
So if you press the skills that you need to roll, and then you press the roll button on the character sheet, it should come up like the others have.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So if you press compel and low society, there you
go.
Wow,
look at that. Okay, it actually worked, except it didn't. Did I get a reroll?
It is actually a fail, unfortunately.
Shit, I didn't.
You have got a reroll. You've got 2 rerolls, actually.
Oh, I do. Oh, wow. I have not been paying attention. This is what I'm going to use one of those for sure. For fucking sure. All right. Oh, look at that.
Wow. The dice have been very kind to you guys in this game.
Yeah.
They have.
I mean, also the people watching.
Yeah, of course.
And this orderly kind of takes one look at this enraged priestess and her terrifying bodyguard and his gnoll killing machine, not gnoll, his hyena killing machine. He says, Stuart, let me take you inside and you can speak to someone in administration. I'm sure they can sort this out.
Excellent.
The ultimate the other department can deal with it.
Yeah, this is above my pay grade.
Oh, it is. I have no ill will for those lower on the totem.
I do. I have
so
a
he
great
leads
deal
you
of ill
across the yard, which is a mixture of gravel and slabs. There's no grass down here, but you do see a flash of a glass house round one corner where there might be something going on, and the 2 wings sweep around the front of the building, and you're led between those 2 wings and in through the main entrance, where there is a small desk at which there is sat a drow nurse wearing a white uniform with a peaked hat that's highly starched. Could you sign in, please? Asks the orderly who's with you. And he takes a clipboard from the woman behind the counter and passes it to the two of you.
Is it a visitor's form?
It is a visitor's form, yeah. It's literally just this thing that says name, organization, 2C.
Okay, fair enough. I give a scrawling of my name. Try not to make it super legible, nor do I make it identical to my actual signature.
But you are using your actual name.
Wow, good question. Who was the orderly that, or sorry, not the orderly, the midwife that showed disdain earlier? I definitely caught all the midwives' names. The one who did not seem particularly interested.
That would have been Sister Swims Uphill.
Swims Uphill, right? Okay. Do I use her name? She might be in on this. The one I punched out, certainly I can't use. Swims Uphill. But I make it intentionally illegible.
Aaron, what are you writing?
Death, priest of Charnel.
Subtle, like a brick through a shopkeeper's window.
That's some Mayday.
Yep. So you sign random people in, and the orderly takes you through. Says, now, please keep calm and quiet as we pass by the wards, because it can agitate the patients if you don't. And he leads you around a side of, down to the left. And you see ahead of you a huge room that looks more like a dungeon than a hospital room. And inside there are a bunch of female drow, most of whom have had their heads shaved, sort of slumping around. There's a few of them sat on the floor or laying on the floor. When they see you, several run over and stick arms out through the bars of the window. Magie, 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 help us, save us. Magie, help us, save us.
I try not to look as distraught as I am. I can't help but feel as though I display a degree of it.
There's, as you pass around the corner, you can see into another ward to your right, which contains no drow at all. There are humans and some gutterkin and some gnolls in there. All of whom have been equally shaved, although the gnolls, it's much more obvious that they've been shaved because they've been shaved all over. They're all looking sort of pale and sickly because they're not as used to being indoors and away from the light as much as the drow would be. And they just kind of look despondently up at the window and then look away again. And he leads you around the back of there, and there is a wooden door that says administration on it in a spidery script. And he takes out one of his keys, unlocks the door, opens it, and motions for you to go in.
After you.
Yeah, I think we're both kind of standing waiting for him to go in first.
Okay. And he walks into the room. It's just I have to lock it again. So you're going to have to squeeze past.
That's fine. I have Ged standing right next to him, so that if he tries to bolt through that door and lock us in, Ged's going to take his balls off.
He's taken you into another little waiting room area, which has got some more comfortable chairs. And he just says, please take a seat. I'm going to get someone to come and see you. But I have to lock this door for your safety. We don't want the patients getting loose in here.
We will wait no more than 30 minutes, and then I will tear this door down and hunt you.
No, you will not. We are here to speak with the administration, not to kill the orderlies.
As you wish,
Remember
Maji.
yourself.
As you wish, Maji.
And he locks the door behind you and kind of backs away rather than turning his back on you. Backs away towards the door in the far wall, unlocks it, steps through.
We are here to talk. Nothing more. We need to find answers.
You are right, Maji.
There
I
is another
overstepped
door
myself.
in this room as well, which is a big metal affair that looks like it's marked with runes and glyphs and sigils of magic on it. But a short while later, the door opens up again and a female drow comes through, dressed again in a nurse's uniform, but one with more apparent seniority to it. It's much better made. It's of a much higher quality.
Does she appear to maybe be the senior nurse? Do we see any indications that she was the fallen midwife?
She's definitely a senior nurse. You can't tell if she's the fallen midwife or not. She seems to have the correct number of limbs.
Wow, that's a fucking giveaway.
No, I mean, she's got like the normal number of limbs. She hasn't got any extra ones.
Okay, never mind. Well, that's not necessarily not a giveaway, because I do believe that we midwives can keep those under lock and key unless we pull them out.
She bows to you, Maji, priest of Charnel. How can I assist you?
We have come here demanding answers. Answers to a heinous wrongdoing that has occurred, I
Please
believe,
sit.
under the watch of one of your administrative officers.
And she points to some comfortable seats nearby and then sits down in one as well and sort of looks at you expectantly.
Yes.
I never sit in the presence of a possible enemy.
Please, please, we are here to discuss, not to cause violence.
That's
Madam.
still to be seen.
The orderly that you saw before comes back through with a pot of tea and some little cakes and puts them down on the table in front of you and then scarpers again at speed.
I have eaten, thank you.
Yes, Maji, I would recommend not taking anything from them. We were told that she of long legs was drugged.
Calm yourself. Yes, we will get to that, please. This morning, she of long legs was taken from her creche by a cart bearing the emblem of this very asylum. She was removed there without any of my fellow sisters knowing exactly what was going on. We certainly did not call for her, as the door person informed us was, but frankly, I demand answers. This has been an absolute mockery of any sort of mental health system.
Understandable. It sounds to me as though this is a grave misunderstanding. This has been handled very poorly by our orderlies, it would seem.
She is a respected leader of the community. Ma'am, do you understand what has occurred?
Well, it led to great surprise here when we heard that she'd had a divisive episode and was behaving erratically. Now, clearly the mistake that was made was to send improperly trained operatives to collect her. I should have gone myself, but I was at that very time dealing with a patient who has similarly very high needs and great trouble connecting with reality. And so I am terribly sorry that this has occurred.
Who said that she was having an episode? Because no one in her creche did. We've already questioned them.
We received a messenger.
Show me the message.
In the small hours of the morning. Oh, it was a Gutterkin child. I have her file here, please. And she holds out a file and it's got loads of registration forms and documents.
You have no system to ensure that the correct people are taken here? You go off of the word of a Gutterkin alone? They are not members of the creche.
Of course
they do not speak for us. They do not understand
the ways
of
but
the
this Gutterkin did not come from the creche. As you can see, what we have is a note signed by a member of Drow Society suggesting. So she shows you a note, and Aaron, you recognize the signature of one of the sisters on the note. But if you would make an investigate and crime roll.
Ooh. Those are weaknesses. This will be good. Okay.
Does the signature say swim? What's my name? Swims uphill or something?
Sister swims
Oh.
uphill. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Right, Aaron. So, seeing the name of one of the sisters, these people that perpetrated such horror on you and your family, does you a point of mind stress when you see it. But even then, you're able to sort of push down those feelings of anger and aggression deep down inside, and you recognize that the signature isn't strictly accurate. It has been forged. And
you
indeed,
dare
recently.
you dare present
Have you?
a forged note to a priest of Charnel and think that I will not smell the truth of it?
But this is an affidavit signed by one of the sisters themselves.
No, it is not. That is a forged signature. And by Charnel, I will get to the bottom of this if it takes razing this entire place to the ground.
I understand your concern, brother, but please,
There is no concern. There
of
is a
healing.
statement of fact. Show me one person you have healed.
Please, we are here for discussion's sake, not to deal harm. Now, please, let us all, with calm heads and steady minds, discuss this matter. Clearly, there is a forgery at play here. This is a wrongdoing.
Been deceived. This is a tragedy. This should never have happened. For someone to attempt to use this place of healing for a petty vendetta is shocking to us.
Yes, exactly. So, we can handle this like civilized drow. Where is she being held? This clearly a misplaced. This is clearly all part of a grand misunderstanding. If we can just...
Indeed, it would seem so. It would seem so.
Yes.
She is not here. The orderlies who were dispatched to fetch her have not returned, nor has the ambulance which we sent with them.
How could this possibly have happened? Are you... I was informed that the asylum was a very well-organized operation intent on healing the community, and you're telling me you have no idea where one of your inmates is?
Well, that's what I mean to tell you. She is not an inmate. Neither she nor the orderlies have returned.
This is...
What have you done to find them? We had enough time to hear about it, question the entire crush, and then come here. So where are they?
Well, we have a small troop of our security detail out looking for them, even as we speak.
A small troop? She is a community leader.
We only have no idea where she is.
You have a small number of guards. Make them smaller. Find her. Where on the entirety of this spire could she possibly be? Do you trust those that you dispatched to perform their duties? Clearly, there must be some grander conspiracy afoot. A forged document, missing orderlies, a missing creche mother. This is ridiculous. The incompetence that I'm bearing witness to is astounding.
Ajit,
I cannot believe this.
Perhaps you continue to speak with the nurse, and perhaps I could speak with their guard captain so I can try to determine what kind of security they have here.
You are indeed
a wise suggestion, sir. That may be a good idea. You clearly have some experience in tracking and such like. So let's facilitate that. I will have the orderly conduct you to the captain of the guard, and I will take the Magi through to the nurses' station, where we will pursue this matter further.
Indeed. We must get to the bottom of this. Nurse, I do not blame you or hold you accountable for this, but there is clearly something that must be corrected that was made wrong. I believe that you and I can work together to get to the bottom.
So she rings a little bell, and a few minutes later, the orderly returns.
Magi, I will see you within the hour.
And I you.
Please take this gentleman to see the captain of the guard so that he can question him about
Make
the detail.
sure he's treated well. He can be a little bit hot-blooded, but he means...
I assure you, no violence will come to him.
Good.
That is true. I cannot guarantee the same.
I can't guarantee any violence won't come from him. Alden's here! Yay!
About time for our Vermissian Sage to sneak into the asylum.
Like perfect time for a Vermissian Sage interlude.
All I was going to say was
to find his feet.
Yeah, all I was going to say was I don't think it's good the way she said yeah, because it made it sound like yes, divide and conquer, yes, split up so we may destroy. Like the way she framed it was just so like scary.
So Aaron, you are led back out by.
We are in the fucking fortress of the enemy.
Right. Captain of the guard is out in the glass house, so that's where we like to make sure the patients are engaged in calming activities. So please don't raise your voice when we're in there. Everything will be fine, and we'll get to the bottom of this. Okay?
Lead on. And so I'm scanning the entire area as we go and trying to look for further weaknesses in their security or further access points that I couldn't have seen from outside when we did our initial reconnoiter.
Okay, make an investigate, and there isn't really an appropriate domain for this.
How about order?
Yeah, you know what? We'll go with order.
Yeah, I'm terrible at both, but I think that's probably the best one.
Because it is a very structured environment.
Right. All right.
Okay, so you succeed without any stress, although the stress will probably follow when you realize that you are, without any shadow of a doubt, being led into a trap.
I like traps.
There are not just patients waiting in the glass house. You can see that there are a number of dark uniformed men, much like the ones you saw on the first night you had a look around, hanging about in the glass house, hiding behind trees. Only your keen eyes notice them before they're able to properly hide themselves.
Ged and I stop walking. I roll my neck. I loosen my war cleaver and put it to the guard captain's neck, and I go, "You understand that ambushing me means you die first."
I don't understand. No, what ambush?
You think to hide the truth, the stench of your lies from a priest of Charnel, I am going to feed your body to the carrion. Unless you call your men off, have them disarm and walk out of that glass house right now.
They're not my men. The guard captain is a separate entity. He answers only to the doctor. I've got no say here. I'm just an orderly. They outrank me. But it's only him in there. I don't understand. Why are you so angry?
You're a fool. Take off your clothes and run away, and you'll live to see another day. If I ever see you again on these grounds or anywhere else, I will kill you.
He starts to unbutton his top and drops it carefully to the ground before pulling down his trousers and running off in his underwear.
I look into the glass house and I go, "If you're coming to die, come on now."
Meanwhile, Pat, inside, the nurse says, I'm terribly sorry for this whole experience. It's not something we're trying to help the community.
I
It's something
understand.
that we just want to be able to serve the people as best we can. Can you make an investigate and order roll?
Okay. Order, again, not my strong suit here. Wow, not my strong suit at all. Any of this. Fuck. It's just gonna be 1d10 for me, dog.
Excitement.
Ooh, fuck me. I do have another reroll. I think making sure that this goes, that I understand what's going on here is going to be crucial. I don't know how many other rolls I'm going to be making. That's even worse.
So you are completely oblivious.
For the record, I would like to say my character does not trust this person, but go ahead.
And that was the right thing. Not to trust this person was absolutely the right decision, because as she's leading you towards the door and she holds out one of her arms to sort of guide you, there's a click clockwork noise from behind her back, and another two arms fold out over her shoulders, one of which is holding a syringe that she jabs into you. Or does she? Let's find out. She absolutely does. She hits you with this syringe right in the small of your back. And you can feel your vision starting to go very, very odd. Like your mind is starting to cloud and you're feeling woozy. What do you want to do?
Okay, yeah. I guess this is probably my last turn here for quite some time. Let me see. Let me remind myself what this one ability does. Yeah, it's not gonna be helpful. I'm assuming I don't. Do I have much motor control left? I'm assuming like I have maybe one.
You've got
turn
one action of sort of full
okay.
motion in you before you succumb to the poison.
And the poison's all in my system. There's nothing left in that needle.
No, she's just jabbed you with the whole thing.
Yeah, I think my last turn is to look her in the eye as my eyes become blurry and say, "You're a disgrace to the Order of the Midwives, and you will pay."
She's giving you this smile that looks decidedly predatory as you say that, and the last thing you see is her looking down on you with this kind of predatory look on her face. And another clockwork arm reaches down and gets hold of your robes and kind of starts to drag you towards the metal door before you pass out. Audun, meanwhile, you've been poking around in the Vermissian and you've lost track of time.
I was reading this really interesting book. It was on plants or something. I forget. It got dull in the end. There was something about bulbs, and they grew legs, and they had spitting tongues. Fascinating, but not what we're doing. Hello.
Ah, Tray of the Driftlids.
Yes.
So, what do you wish to do?
I don't know. I'm sure I was meant to be doing something, but I can't remember what it was.
So the others aren't at the meeting place where they were supposed to be meeting up with you. But then you realize that you're probably later than you'd planned to.
Okay, so I'm going to stick my head out of one impossible door and go, "Oh, they are not here." I'll go, "Hey, Atchin! What time is it?"
A little drow boy comes up with enormous eyes.
Wow, you must be really good at reading.
They're actually compound eyes, which makes when he gets close enough, which is a little bit weirder, big bug-like compound eyes taking up most of his forehead.
Wow.
What's that, Gov?
How many directions can you see in?
All of them.
Wow. I could put 2 fingers either side of his head going, how many fingers?
Do you want to know the time, or do you want me to count your fingers for you?
Well, both.
Okay, you got 2 fingers,
Okay, that's
and
good.
it's about 4:30.
Ah, I'm late. Oh, okay. Bye-bye.
What are you late for?
Very important meeting.
Oh, big night bloke.
There was a yes.
Yeah, he's gone to the arena.
Oh,
Yeah, he's gone fight in the arena.
okay. And the man with the scary dog?
Did not go to fight in the arena.
Okay, where did he go?
He's taken the lady to hospital.
To hospital. Which lady?
The mother.
Okay, that's interesting. Right. Okay. Thank you, Urchin, and goodbye. And I shut the door. I'm gonna go find another door. Arena, asylum. I'm gonna go to the arena.
Okay.
Kind of pelting down impossible geometries, trying to find the right door now.
You run past David Bowie at one point. He's chasing a baby up some stairs.
There's 2 people carrying an impossible geometry glass pane that you don't so much as break through, but kind of phase and swim through, and they go,
Sorry, I'm in a hurry. I'm sorry.
You run straight through a crate of non-geometrical chickens.
Yep.
They implode.
You run past yourself running there a minute ago.
knock over a fruit stand where fruit never evolved.
So you pop out of a door inside the arena. You walk straight out of a cupboard, and you can see people carrying props past you in a big, wide corridor, wide enough for 3 people to walk down abreast with no problems. The cupboard behind you now has mops and other cleaning utensils in.
Okay, I'm going to grab a mop and I'm going to join the people carrying things because that looks convincing, right?
They're carrying props out onto the arena floor. And when you get out onto the arena floor proper, you can see that they're setting up some kind of big diorama stage show spectacular. There are people shoveling sand onto the arena floor. There's a couple of gladiators practicing in one corner. There's people building palm trees and fake maces to attach around the walls of the arena. And over on the stands, sitting in a group of chairs, you can see a group of about 10 drow humans, 1 gnoll. And you recognize that one of the drow is actually Admiral Rex. And he's talking to the others in a very strained accent that makes it sound like he's trying to be posh.
And that's why I'm telling you that at that specific battle, they were not using pikes, they were using glaives. And in actuality, the gnolls were using a kind of large terrestrial chicken creature to attack the... I don't know why I'm making this up. My character served on the front line.
You were there in that battle.
Yeah. Okay,
We're a little bit concerned that you may have gone into the wrong reality.
Well, as they say in the Vermisian, you work with where you end up.
When in 12th dimensional Rome.
Yeah, some of the realities are contiguous, some of them not so much, but hey, you got to eat.
And this one, apparently, Admiral Rex is some kind of posh historical consultant.
Okay, and knows about giant terrestrial chickens as opposed to the other types of chicken. I don't know.
The aquatic chickens.
The star chickens. Those are the ones you have to watch
chickens.
out for, the stellar chickens.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
How's your chicken, Stella?
I'm just going to be behind Rex.
That's what I'm doing. I'm just using my actual knowledge of the war scene. But I think the key thing that Rex will be doing is being unnecessarily clinical. Oh, come on, mate. There's only so far a reenactment can go kind of levels, down to details. But what I'm I guess I'll just roleplay this. What I'm trying to do is get them to allow Barnaby, who's actually Lucian, who's actually Leon, to go and inspect the props, that like the outfits and stuff, just so.
Yeah, they've already let him go.
Okay,
You've managed
excellent.
to
Then, yeah,
convince them to let him go and investigate the props. So
I'm
he's
just being distracting
backstage
then.
right
Okay.
now.
But yeah,
when a familiar figure sort of slopes up behind you.
I'm mopping. I'm merging into the background. I'm mopping a
Imagine you
sandy
mopping the
floor.
sand.
Yeah.
Yes, he's mopping the
Yes,
sand.
I'm actually mopping the sand.
It's a dry mop. It doesn't have a bucket.
No, but it's verisimilitude.
So you recognize that Nadir is there as well, suddenly.
Okay. See. I'm going to do a very Rex thing and kind of like do like a wink, but make it incredibly obvious.
Wink!
And the deer says wink back.
Wink!
Oh,
You forgot to say wink. Oh, no. So we don't say... Oh, I'm so confused.
So Leon, you're backstage. And you're taking
am I
a look
with
through the
someone?
props.
Am I being escorted?
No, you're on your own
Okay.
backstage. You're a servant. Who cares?
Yeah.
This is the thing you've based your entire career on. So you're backstage looking at the props, and the props are, for the most part, actual weapons that they do plan on hitting people with.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fairly functional. They've attached some twiddly bits on them to make them look a little bit more ornate than they are. But the basic weapons themselves are kind of iron and steel chopping implements.
Are they lined up in racks? Are they in?
They are
crates?
lined up in racks, yes. And what you've got is the weapons, scimitars and glaives and spears for the gnolls. And then the drow of Spire, their racks contain rifles with bayonets affixed that contain no actual ammunition.
Okay. Are they working guns if they had ammunition?
They're not, no. They are prop
They're just
guns
prop guns.
with working bayonets.
Okay. Am I in the storage? Am I underneath basically the seating?
You think that as you poke
arena?
around, you are directly underneath some of the seating. You think as you poke around that maybe 1 in 10 of the guns has some kind of cap firing mechanism built in, where it'll just ignite a bit of Spire Black and make a loud snap and crack.
Mm-hmm. And how many numbers roughly are there of racks worth of weapons?
Looks like there's about 100 guns. So maybe 10 of those are the blank firing ones. And about 60 combined glaives, scimitars, pikes. Although there is a big empty space in the middle with a sheet kind of taped to the wall that says Gnoll General on it.
Okay, I would like to peek underneath the sheet.
Yeah, that's all it is. It is a sheet of paper taped to the wall.
Oh, okay.
It looks like a space where they plan to put the Gnoll General's kit ready for him to put on. There is a similar one in the human set that says Stone Strikes Dawn. But that's actually got a set of gleaming armor stylized in the Elfir fashion. But there's a space there for a gun as well. It looks like this armor is designed to fit someone about the size of Rex.
Yeah. Okay. I think how would I get rid of this? Can I explore elsewhere around the backstage area?
Mm-hmm.
I do still want to kind of look for a point of plumbing in case there's anything down there. I don't know that there would be.
Okay, make an investigate and low society or crime roll.
Investigate, and it's just 2 dice.
Uh-oh, he's rolling 2 dice. We're in trouble now.
yes.
Never going to tell him to roll 2 dice ever again. Your search very quickly reveals to you a room full of utterly motionless drow. Just stood in ranks. As near as you can tell, there's about 100 of them. Stood in ranks of 10. Completely still.
I'm going to creep
unblinking, staring. And as you get closer, they all appear to be wearing a helm on their head and fairly basic armor.
Can I look them over? I'm assuming they are going to be some of the clockworky people, Drow, as opposed to
They're
like
all
mannequins.
wearing this sort of featureless, well, not featureless mask. They're all wearing a generic war mask, like a theatre warrior's mask.
Okay.
Are you taking off any of the helmets?
Yes, because I want to try and look for that clockwork stuff in the head.
Okay, well, when you take off the helmet, it's a bit tricky at first, but you take it off and twist it, and underneath the helmet, it is concealing a whole bunch of clockwork. And with the better light that you've got here, you can see in much more detail that the shape of the skull goes all the way up to the forehead and then sinks back and is missing most of the brain except for the basic bit of the brain. And then there is this big chunk of clockwork motor and engine sat in the brain space, and the helm is set to protect the clockwork, and it sits over the top of it.
Right. Ooh, okay.
Can you make an investigate and technology roll?
Yes. So I was trying to see if I can work out an operation, investigate, and technology. Okay, just 2 dice then.
Yes.
That was low society, not technology.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
Still
Is it
just
the
the 2
same?
dice, though.
Yeah, it's still 2 dice.
Well,
So
if it's the same, it
investigate
doesn't
and
matter.
technology, yeah.
Oh, well, we live in hope. Trying to get him down to 1 dice, but never
Maybe
mind.
the macro's broken on roll 20.
I don't think it is, because other people have rolled fails.
Yeah.
So as you poke around in this one's head, what you can see in the center of this clockwork, like some kind of where you would normally expect to find the spring that you wind, inside it, right in the middle, there's this little tiny glass bulb that's no bigger than a contemporary fuse would be. And that glass bulb has a thin, glowing, you want to say purple until you look at it, and then you want to say green until you catch it with the side of your eye, and then you want to make up the name for a new color that doesn't exist, because that's the color of this very faint light that's being given off. You've seen similar when Nadir has popped out of holes in space-time before.
Odd. Okay. As crudely as is there an on button?
There is not a visible on switch, no.
Can I remove the glass bulb?
You can certainly try. Make a fix and technology roll.
Fix and technology. 1 dice. I don't have either of those.
You do it. You reach in and you pull out. Let me think. What kind of stress best suits this? I think this is mind stress, because this is stress that you're undergoing here. You're pulling out something that's potentially a bomb.
If I don't have any red dots in that and I've just got the 1 black dot, what happens to me now?
You take 1 point of stress.
You take 1 point of stress, and I roll on a d6, and you pray I don't get a 1, which I don't.
Okay. Cool.
So you have taken a point of mind stress. But you managed to remove this tiny little filament bulb fuse thing. And as you do, the entire doll just collapses in a heap. Just that one. But the sound is so loud, it startles you. It scares the living bajinkies out of you. And makes you want to run out of the room.
Okay. I think I'll leave the room. I'm going to put the bulb in my pocket. Head on out of there. Look around, make sure no one sees me coming out of that room.
Alden, what about you? You've mopped some sand. You've got closer and closer to where you can hear this discussion going on. It sounds like a script meeting. They're discussing exactly what should happen in the telling of the Battle of Far Najab. The directors have taken some creative liberties from what you understand of history. And from what you've heard, the Null forces are supposed to come marching out and then get decimated by the noble drow led by their Elfir lord, Stone Strikes Dawn, who is being portrayed as an absolute hero of the drow and the Elfir at the same time, a master with the rifle and a legendary shootist who slew dozens of gnolls before being cruelly struck down by the head of the gnolls himself. Now, you're also party to this conversation, and you can hear them saying, and obviously at that point, we're going to expect the drow who's going to be taking on the role of Stone Strikes Dawn to probably be killed. I know we've got someone in who's very, very good, but we're hoping that by that point, the gnolls will be close enough to stick him with a couple of swords, spears, what have you. We're going to add a bit of poison on there just to be on the safe side to make sure that he dies.
Of course, yes.
Because Stone Strikes Dawn has to die a tragic death at the end so that he can become legendary.
Of course, yes, of course. As the storybooks have shown, I mean, a child could tell you that he clearly fought very bravely and with much honor, and definitely didn't shit himself in front of a very competent person and wept like a small baby. I mean, sorry, I've been known to put extra emphasis on my obvious fallacies that I'm creating.
That would be good characterization. Maybe we could move the weeping onto the Gnoll to show how sorry he is that he's just slain such a noble hero. I like it. Yeah, the weeping is good. We can use the weeping, and he scribbles something on a script.
The redemption of the evilness from the sacrifice.
You shut up and get back to cleaning.
Is so strong. Sorry, I'm swept away by the drama.
bloody fucking workers thinking they can have their, like, oh, if I just strike it big on the stage.
Mop. Yeah. Mop. I'm mopping the back of Rex at this point.
No, but yes, I concur.
Dusty.
There's something I've been noticing. Not that it's much of an issue, but there seems to be this big gap in the forces. Because you've got your usual lot, and then there's like these. What are these? They're these, like, they just say dolls?
Oh, the extras.
Extras, yes.
Yeah, no, don't worry about them. We've got the extras all taken care of. We've got about 100 guys who are going to just sort of all do lockstep. They've all had training. They've basically been schooled in what to do. It's going to be really simple. They're just, they step forward, they take a shooting position, they all shoot their rifle, then they step forward, they all use their bayonets. Really, really easy stuff. All we're going to need is when our general guy gets here. Now we've got those gun people, the nutters. One of them is going to come and be like the boss man, and we're going to stick him in front of them. Now, their orders aren't to do anything to him, but to just sort of move with him, but to not attack the Gnoll that is, one of Mother's own sons is going to come out as the Gnoll general, and yeah, that's one of the reasons why, because he's sort of an arena favorite as well. So we need him to like. Despite being a bad guy, he's a bad guy, but now he's got your redemption arc. I like the redemption arc. That's a nice touch. But the crowd loves the bad guy sometimes, and they do like to watch him fight. He's very, very popular.
Yeah,
especially with the ladies for some reason.
I can't imagine why. Now, no, I asked because I see this word, and it's in very tiny parentheses, dolls. And I was just concerned you'd gotten some starry-eyed, glamoured up extras just to make everyone look good.
Where does it say dolls? I haven't got that in my script.
Yeah, it says right here. Rex has scribbled in his own pen. Dolls. It says right here. I don't know. It's not in your copy.
It looks like someone's edited your copy.
Yes. No. Oh, the rudeness.
Everyone else's, it just says extras, so it's probably a mistake in yours. Someone's got, one of the production assistants has got bored and just sat down and interfered.
I tell you, you should get your people down on that. I tell you, that's the moral decay when people start thinking about the no nonsense.
Oh, the moral decay is terrible.
Yes, exactly.
It's absolutely awful. It's awful.
Leon, you arrive back at your group to notice that Nadir has arrived as well, and for some reason is mopping the back of Nye's armor.
It got dusty.
That's because you've been dusting the sand beforehand.
Well, then I need to dust it off.
Yeah, and the sheerness of the metal will help with that.
So no, you've got a script in your hand.
Yes, I do.
Leon, you've had a poke about backstage. Alden, you've got a mop.
I have no idea what's going on, but I'm participating.
Well, Barnaby, approach. Good man. Yes. What do you think of the pops? Would you call them up to standards?
I would say they're yes, they should be adequate. They could actually maybe I don't think they've got quite enough. I think maybe they need to suddenly outsource a new type of weapon. Obviously, if I were to ask you, what weapons do you think the gnolls would have?
Well, the gnolls are quite, as many people don't know this, but gnolls themselves are quite a diverse bunch. They will use a wide range of weapons. So, and perhaps that's what you're referring to is that the range is too simplified.
Yes, it's too simplified. It's too simplified. This is exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
There's
so
too
the
much
director's
uniformity.
got his script and he's scribbling on it. You think more weapon types? That's cool. No problem. We've got loads and loads from the gladiatorial bouts, nets, spears.
Yes,
tridents,
nets, spears, tridents, of course, tridents, a natural favor.
We just dig out everything we've got. Everything we've got. All everything. So he scribbles all weapons on his script. It's like, well, gentlemen, you've been a great help. Thanks. Now we're doing lunch.
Absolutely.
I'd say you could join us, but you can't. Thank you so much for coming, though. I hope everything's been up to standard for the Historical Society.
Oh yes, the historical bunch will be quite delighted with this news. I telling you, all 8 of them will just be ecstatic.
Well, he reaches into his pocket and he flicks in between his fingers 4 tickets. Says, "Take these complimentary tickets to the show. Your help has been invaluable. Bring a partner, bring a loved one, bring a friend. Send your mum."
Yes, of course. My mother. I'm telling you, the woman cannot get enough of gore, bloodshed, and gnolls being brutally slaughtered. So I'm telling you, she'll be delighted.
Drow mothers, right?
Exactly. Yes. That's why I joined the army.
I say your custodian there has a rather interesting mop. Mind if I borrow him for a second?
Hello. Well, I can help in many different ways.
He's to be a big star.
One of my side objects is the history of the utilities.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. Well, I can tell you many interesting facts about the
Take the mop or whatever. Look, we'll see you at the show tomorrow night, okay? It's been great. Have your people send an urchin with a message to my people.
Of course, naturally. Come along, right? And we shall leave.
Meanwhile, back at Aaron.
Yeah.
So Samadi looks around.
You stood outside the glass house. You've got your hook and your cleaver, and you've got your hyena on standby. And the first person to come out of the glass house.
Well, before anybody comes out, I use my skill lay of the land to first determine a location where I can face them, where they can only come at me one at a time. And then second, the best way to escape the grounds if I start to become overwhelmed.
Right, the best place to have attacked them would have been to go into the glass house because there are lots of plants and narrow passageways in there. So going into the glass house is your best way to filter them. Out here, you're exposed, you're in the open, it's gravel and concrete. Anybody coming out here can easily surround and overpower you. Your best bet to escape from where you are is to cheese it back out the door, the main gate. As for inside, you're not sure, but you get the impression that there is a passageway inside that leads to outside the walls.
Okay, I move into the door of the glass house. I don't go in too deep, but deep enough that I can filter their attack.
Okay, so the first thing you notice as you walk through the door is that there is a human in the dark blue uniform coming forward with a gun. He's got not a Lagrange rifle because that's a bit too upmarket, but he is definitely carrying a rifle as he heads out towards you.
Yeah, I set I set Ged to growling. And as they approach, I say to all of them, in an attempt to intimidate some of them to run away, I am the first of my people to come. We will be a wave of death in Charnal's name to wash over you. Those who stand against us will feed the gullet of the demon of death. Run now, and we shall leave you in peace, or face me and die.
Okay, make a compel and order roll.
And since Ged is growling, I get to do that with mastery.
Ouch. So this guy who's moving towards you with a rifle up hears you say that, stops moving, ducks behind a tree, and you see the rifle move up, and you can hear him sort of heavy breathing. And there's a faint scent in the air of human sweat that you recognize from your days in the military. He's clearly been discombobulated by your threat. All around this glass house, other humans, excuse me, are in a similar sort of position. You can hear the clicking and rattling of rifles and the rustling of people hiding in bushes and behind trees. Up on a set of spiral stairs at the far end, there is a human in a slightly more fancy uniform than the others. And he starts barking orders, stand your ground, men. There's only one of him. We can take him. Steady.
Anyone who would live, put down your rifle, and I will let you walk out of here now. Anyone who stays, dies.
Their commanding officer appears to be instilling them with discipline. This is clearly a trained military outfit. You get the feeling that a lot of these guys would have taken the option to cheese it rather than face you and the hyena. Many of them may well have faced hyenas in the past. But the commanding officer has got a grip on these men. These are his soldiers, and he knows what he's doing with them. So they're following his orders, and they're kind of falling back to around the stairs, but they're falling back in an ordered fashion, as though they're guarding him and the staircase.
If you're so tough, why hide behind your men? Come down and face me alone. Or are all humans cowards?
Nice try, priest, but I'm a soldier, not a duelist. You're not going to taunt me into one of your foolish battles. If you want me, come get me.
As you wish. And at that, I
He's going to have
close,
to Batman it.
Close my fist so tightly that blood begins to pour out of my hand, and I hold it up, and you hear this kind of resonating sound coming out of my chest as Ged begins to cackle, and you hear the reverberating sound of dozens of hyenas cackling all around them. I take D3 points of blood stress and reduce the difficulty of all enemies by 1. So I'll roll blood stress, and it's half of this. So 2 points of blood stress.
That's 3 points of blood stress.
That's half.
Yeah, but it's rolled down. Up because
rolled up?
5 and 6 is 3.
Oh, cool. So 3 points of blood stress, difficulties down by 1, and I move in using the layout to using the lay of the land layout to make sure that
you
I'm
are
only
quite
going
literally
at
Batmaning this fight, aren't you? You've got this sort of echo-located idea of where everybody is, and now they're all terrified by weird animal noises in the background. You've injured yourself, and now they can be more easily hurt. It's 200% Batman.
That's Batman meets Punisher meets somebody without a sense of humor, and we move in. Ged and I move in to attack the first person we can see. So I set him to guard, and we assault.
Okay, so that's fight and order, please.
And since we used the lay of the land, get mastery for that too. Seven. How many? 7 is with stress.
7 is succeed with stress, yeah.
I'm going to use one of my rerolls for that.
Okay. 70% is not good enough.
It's going to be a long... Oh, man. That hurt.
So the first thing you do is you run into a shot from a rifle. So you take another point of blood stress.
That's okay.
As the soldier that you're attacking fires and just wildly. So the bullet doesn't hit you full on, but the feel of it going past your cheek and slicing open your cheek causes you a point of blood stress.
That's okay. It's not
He
through
then
even my
tries
armor
to
yet.
hit you with the butt of his gun. So he succeeds, so you take another point of stress, but so does he. So how much blood stress have you taken now? You've taken 5 blood stress, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's not even through my armor and blood armor yet. Not even, well, close. 3 more points before I'm actually at risk.
Okay. So yeah, he hits you with the butt of his gun, and then it's back to you.
That was a good hit. Now it's my turn.
It's time for the lift scene from The Matrix, the lobby scene.
There we go. And that's a D6 stress.
Ouch.
So take 6 points of blood stress.
So you hook this guy with your meat hook and kind of fling him through the air. He screams and leaves a trail of blood behind him as he goes flying through the bushes, crashes into another one of his companions as he does so. And then you move.
You all still have a chance to run.
All right, let's see some shooting action from them.
Ooh.
So you are then shot for 3 points of blood stress. A volley of shots rings out around you, one of which hits you.
Still okay.
Still okay.
1 more point.
When I need to start rolling for fallout.
Then it gets real after 1 more point. Okay.
Okay.
How many guys are there?
There's about 6 of them.
I'm so gonna die. Okay, let's do this.
5 of them are mooks, so basically inflicting 1 point of stress on each of the mooks is enough to take them out of action. A-team style. It's just like the guard captain that's going to be the big problem.
I just liked the, don't worry, I've still got 3 more. And then Ben was going to go, okay, shot. Oh, fuck. Shot. Okay. Shot. Okay, I get it. Okay, they're just going to shoot me.
You see somebody going, poof, poof, poof.
I can take more. And it's just like they're carrying away. You're still going, I can take more. No.
Wait a second. That's actually not right because Ged is guarding. So each one of those attacks would have been reduced by 1.
Okay.
So I'm actually in better shape than I thought. Okay. So I move up to the next guy with my cleaver and I take it down low and just kind of go from the balls to the sternum and out.
I thought you were going to say ankles.
Nope.
The entire time I just keep telling them, you can still run.
You got 3 rerolls, by the way.
I'll take that. I'll take the 8.
Oh yeah, now Nick Zacker's like, kill them all!
I'm going to do my best. And that guy only takes 2 points of blood stress, but
like I said, with the mooks, the blood stress is enough to put them in a position where they are out of action and don't want to do anything anymore.
So I'm looking at I'm like, 2 down. Run, boys. I don't want your blood. I just want your captain's.
So another 3 shots, ouch, ring out and hit you. 2 of them have taken some stress, so they won't be they shoot you and run. Literally, they crack off a shot and then cheese it out of there. So you're down 4 mooks now, but
Sweet.
you've just taken 6, 7, 8 points of blood stress across 3 separate hits. Though.
Okay, so 5.
So it's 4 and none and
Okay, so
1.
I've got 1 point of actual blood stress now.
Okay, so you're down to 2 guys closest to the stairwell and the guard captain himself. And he draws a cutlass as you approach the stairs.
So I move into the closest guy, kind of a reverse grasp on my war cleaver and just right across his throat while I'm staring at his friend going, time to run, boy. Not 14 die. That would be overkill. Yeah.
Yeah, with a spray of blood that goes all over his friend. Can you make a compel and order roll at mastery? The last one with his friend's blood just sprayed across his face, just drops his rifle and runs past you out of the glass house.
I just look up and go, come on down.
He rolls his shoulders, says, come get me, and points his pistol down and takes a shot at you.
Sad.
And he hits you, but it's only a pistol, so
Nice.
1 point of damage. Spang. Is that off the armor?
Yeah.
Chow. His pistol glances off your armor, and you can move up the stairs and engage him.
I do. So I just say coward, and then we're up the stairs, and I've got a war cleaver coming at him.
Nice.
I'll take it.
Now this guy does have actual blood stress, so
I figured. Takes 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. So some blood wells out of the chest of his uniform. He's like, ah. And he slashes at you with his cutlass. Better roll d10s, not d6s. So his cutlass hits home. Oh.
4, so 3 points of damage. So yeah, I'm at 4 stress now.
So you're at 4 stress. So let's see if you take any fallout. You don't take any fallout yet.
Woo!
So you may act unimpeded.
All right. Roll again. Nice hit. Here's one for you.
He slashed down at you straight through your shoulder guard and across your chest.
10. That's +1 to the damage.
Ouch.
So he takes 5 points of blood stress.
Okay, and that means that he's now taking some minor fallout, and you bring your cleaver down on his pistol hand, and you hear his arm crack, and the pistol crashes and clatters down the stairs, and the arm flops loosely to his side, and he shouts, "Bastard!" at you, and takes another swing with his saber.
Success with
Cutlass.
stress.
Which he succeeds at. It deals a further 3 points of blood stress to you.
2. All right. Okay.
So is that, we're checking for fallout now, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
What's the number?
5.
Oh, So, our first fallout. So it's minor fallout. So that's good. But he's been slashing at you. So you are bleeding and you are leaking blood. And until you get proper medical care, each time you take an action now, it's 1 extra stress against blood before you roll the dice.
All right.
So every action you take now is going to cost you 1 extra blood stress.
I go, that was a good hit too.
Yeah, your blood is kind of pulsing out. He does not look very well, though. He's
Let's,
clearly got a broken arm. You've stabbed him in the chest. He is decidedly unhealthy.
Let's give you a closer shave, son. So I'll take my point of blood stress and hit him where it hurts.
That'll do it.
For 4 more points of damage.
You can't help but take fallout. Now, once you hit maximum blood stress and you've got minor fallout, you take medium fallout, don't you?
Yep.
Yes, he's very definitely taking some further fallout. And you just lay open his whole face. You peel off a big chunk of the lower half of his face, exposing his jaw and his cheekbones. And he screams in pain as the damage is done and the flesh just peels off of him. And Ged just darts in and grabs it up and snaps it down his throat in a second.
Good boy, Ged. I will just, hey, Ben, you might want to re-roll it. I don't know, but actually fallout's on a D10, not a D6.
Oh, okay. Well, this guy slumps into unconsciousness.
Oh, good.
Now, you've done horrendous amounts of blood damage to him.
Oh, that, Ged, that hurt.
Yeah, you're leaking as well, so.
So I lean down on the guy, chop his head off with my cleaver.
So much for his humiliation.
Tie it to my belt, and then go, all right, I hate to say this, Ged, but we've got to fall back. We've got to find the others. I'm in no condition to find Harp at this point. So then I use my lay of the land to use that escape route to try to get out. I try to bandage myself up as best as I can first, though, before I take off.
Yeah, it's a hatch in the back of the glass house that leads down into a tunnel that comes out of that back door exit that you saw on your first reconnoiter of the place. And you stagger out of there, blooded handprints all over the walls, smeared streaks of your own blood. Ged kind of helping you along, propping you up as you stagger away from the scene. Meanwhile, Pat. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I actually did some fucking fan art of it.
Oh, look at that. Nice. You kind of start to come to, you're feeling very woozy, and you are strapped to a table, your arms by your sides, held in thick leather bindings, with a thick leather binding across your waist and around your neck and across both of your ankles. And the room that you're in is lit very, very brightly with these big white lights, but you can't help but notice that from behind you, there's this faint purple-orange pulse cast coming off of the room. And this room, you're not sure if it's the drugs or if it's the room, but something still feels very off about what's happening here. The nurse is stood before you. Liana shuns shapes. And she's got these 2 clockwork cybernetic arms, like a midwife could potentially have. And she's wearing a set of goggles that contains extra eyes. Again, a disgusting mimicry of the powers that Ishkra grants to her midwives. You can see that the ends of the mechanical hands terminate in sharp metallic claws. And she's preparing some surgical tools on a bench next to you. Sister, you're awake. Welcome to Bedlam.
I'm no sister of yours.
Perhaps you would like to speak before we take the information from your mind. Who sent you? How do you
sent
know
myself.
us? And who is in your little cell?
I sent myself. I know you because you took She of Long Legs from my crash. And I know nothing of any cells.
One of the mechanical hands picks up some kind of device off of the bed and she jabs you with it, and a bolt of electricity passes through you. It's some kind of galvanic device. She tases you. Lies. You could not have made it this far without information. Who has betrayed us?
I came to the front door of an asylum. What do you mean this far? They just let me in because you've done wrong.
This is a place of healing. We will fix you. We will make you
Fix yourself
better.
first.
I am fixed. And another 2 arms unfold from behind her. Now I have all the gifts the goddess would never give.
Perhaps she did not give them to you for a reason.
And yet still I possess them. The doctor has given me much, granted me powerful blessings. Soon you will see. It is not too late for you to join us. You would make an excellent nurse.
Are you offering me a job here, or are you trying to extract information that I don't have? Make up your mind.
I am offering you an alternative. If you do not tell me what I wish to know freely, I will take it from your mind, and what little husk is left will go to the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I don't know what that
to
means.
the pleasure houses.
Are you insulting the position of the midwives to insinuate that I could be a fighter or pleasure house operator? Look, I've told you all that I am able to. I've told you only the truth. Now, if you would like, I could pretend that we never had this discussion under these terms and leave the premises here under the belief that you have made a mistake.
It is too late for that, sister. You have seen too much. You know too much. Join us, or be turned into them. A pity to waste such a mind, and one of her mechanical hands clamps down around your jaw. You could be great.
You could too.
She is all yours, Doctor. She will not turn. At that point, you sense another presence move around the thing that's blocking whatever's going on behind you. And a tall, spindly elf here steps into view. He's got big round goggles over his eyes and a little half mask covering the lower half of his face with a blood red cross over there. He's wearing a long white coat and big, thick black rubber gloves. And he strokes your hair and he says, "Little sister, it will be such a shame. And yet I will make you perfect."
Ishgra makes us perfect, whatever
And he picks
activities
up
you
a
have planned for me.
big sharp spike and content warning. Medical horror, body experimentation, pokes it
Yes.
into your ear. Further than it should really go. Uncomfortably so. And you feel something pop.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in
How
the arena,
unfortunate.
or back out of the arena, since you guys have left there now.
Oh God! Oh fuck! I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I feel
everything's
quite
fine,
happy.
right?
Hey, you guys are having a successful day. What could
Yeah.
possibly be going wrong?
Well, we
Fellows, how is it going?
Ah, it's good to see you, Nadir. How was the wibbly wobbly place that you can jump into?
It was really nice. I read a very interesting book about making jelly, and then I read a different book
Oh.
about something else, and I got bored of the jelly, and then I forgot what I was meant to be doing, and now I'm here.
Oh, it's
Hello.
okay. Well, hey, oh, Lucien, Lucien. What did you discover in there with the props?
So they have enough weapons out there in the racking, but I also found they have about 100 dolls down there, already
Oh,
kitted up in
Oh.
armor. They're inactive. I
okay,
had a better look at the mechanism, and I
right.
found this. I'm going to put out the glass bulb.
Oh.
This small device with this odd, colourful glow. Nadir, I don't know if you recognise the type of colour.
Yes.
When
I'm.
I removed that from one of them, they just collapsed. But it made quite a racket, so I wasn't too confident I'd be able to remove all of them without being discovered.
Okay, so this is of the Venetian, the very strange, not quite green, not quite purple, not quite anything else. That's indicative of the bending of space. That is part of the Venetian. And my fellow sage, they said that there was a device maybe in the hospital, and if it was linked to enough blood and death and mayhem, then it could rip a larger tear right through to the heart. And you said there were many of these?
I would estimate about 100
Okay, that's many.
are ones that I found.
Oh, that's bad.
So, I guess we can't really destroy all the dolls. That would take too long and it'd be really noisy. What if we destroy the machine? Would that stop it from working?
Well, it's a machine
Or
that is in the heavily fortified asylum.
yeah,
That
that one.
machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Right, we just have to destroy that then, right?
Yeah, we're halfway there to the solution. Yes.
Oh, awesome. Okay, that's great. Oh,
Where are the
Oh.
other two?
They went to investigate the asylum,
Oh,
Yeah.
so perhaps
good.
they'll have some information on the machine.
Okay, good. Well, we should wait for them to get back, and then we can like regroup.
okay. Where should we wait? At the tea house or at the lazy dog, or where do you want to wait?
Where did they say they were going to regroup with us?
At the tea house is the usual
Okay.
place.
Well, tea is good. I like tea.
Yeah, definitely.
Tea is nice. Could I have a look at the little
Yes.
fusey thing?
I'm going to give it to Nadir.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I would like.
So investigate occult or investigate technology,
Thank you. I will
whichever
then
you prefer.
investigate an occult, I believe. To investigate the hell out of this. Please hold. Okay, I'm rolling more than 2 dice here, so this will go badly.
Oh no,
Well, you're doomed
yeah.
then.
Oh no, the prophecy.
I got a 6.
Yeah, seeing this isn't the Vermisian. This is more than the Vermisian. This is less than the Vermisian. The Vermisian is a modified route way through the heart. This is like raw heart energy that someone has somehow distilled down into some kind of capacitor, like a mystical capacitor. This is heart energy being used as a connection and a power source and a linkage point.
Why would you do this?
And
This
it is horrifying
very
and mind-bending.
bad for
And
my
as you look
eyes.
into it, it's like trying to look directly into the heart itself. So you take a point of mind stress.
Ow!
Oh, you okay, Nadir?
Yeah, I have an awful lot of mind to stress, but still, ow!
Oh, okay. Right.
Did you glean anything from it?
Yeah, it's not Vermisian.
Hmm.
It's more like the heart itself.
Okay. What? So when I took this out of the doll collapsed.
Yeah, it's being powered by the eldritch energies of the heart. Some have been encapsulated into the teeny tiny thing. And there's another 99 of them. And then there is a machine in Bedlam that is creating these things. Now I said technical phrase again, we're fucked. That's the one.
So, Aaron, rather than approaching the tea house directly, you crept there through various alleys. Ged has had to warn off a number of would-be robbers and bandits from attempting to acquire your equipment.
Since I managed to complete my hunt and take my quarry by taking out those 6 guys and their guard leader, can I refresh some of my stress on the way back?
Absolutely can refresh some of your stress on the way back, yes.
Would you consider that a minor refresh, a medium refresh, or a big refresh from doing awesome things? A D3, a D6, or a D8?
I would call that a D6, I think, refresh. Perfect. Because that was a big thing that you did.
2. So I'm feeling a little better. But...
So you're not really relying on Ged to drag you anymore, but you just kind of need him there to lean on every once in a while. So you see these guys sat around in the tea house from an alleyway just across the way. Do you want to go over to them, or do you want to call them over to you?
I have Ged just cackle a little bit to draw their attention.
So a familiar hyena cackle from a nearby alley draws your attention.
I think I hear some eating.
Yes, or a hyena.
We'll head over to there.
Yeah, well, yeah.
In the alley is just Samidi, and he has been shot, stabbed, beaten.
Oh my god! Oh, Samidi, what the fuck happened to you?
It's okay, Rex. It's just
Leon
a flesh
and Alden,
wound.
you both know that the damage he's taken would have been enough to kill you 2 or 3 times over. No, you haven't looked that bad since the spilt beer incident of 1204.
Yeah.
Not the year, the time.
Yeah, this afternoon.
Yeah. Last week.
You seem to have some holes in you.
And
yes,
where is
I'm looking through one of them. Feathers.
Yes. Weaves like Harp and I went in to try to assess the administrators and try to get a lay of the land.
Okay.
They must have realized something was wrong. We separated. I was waylaid by 6 guards and the guard captain. They won't be joining in the fight, and I pull up the guard captain's head and drop it into the alley. However, I have a feeling they managed to take Weaves. We're going to have to move fast before they kill her.
Okay, well, you need to, not move at all, because I think you're losing more blood than you're making at this point.
We don't have a lot of choice here, Rex, but maybe we could take a few minutes. I'll try to catch my breath and get bandaged.
Yeah, we need
a nice cup of tea.
Yes,
makes me feel better.
Yeah, let's get you bandaged up, and then oh fuck. Okay.
I think we need to bring our infiltration plans forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we should go to the Church of the Gun and rile them up and convince them that, I mean, we won't necessarily say them that Weaves is in the hospital, but let's say that they've taken a very prominent member of the community some of their respects, and we'll also get the cart out of wherever it was stored.
I have that in the Vermisian, if it is useful.
So I will say this. I think we might need to circumvent our original plan a little. I do think we need the Church of the Gun. We could even say that since they weren't able to kill Brother Hellion, they actually have a writ to have him committed. And then he and the church attack the front door. And Nadir, if I describe to you the office that I was in of the chief nurse, do you think you would be able to find it in the Vermisian?
I can try.
It would probably kill us to go through with you, though, right?
Well, make you mad.
But Nadir won't be able to. I mean, dear, you know, you're my brother, but you're very squishy. Are you going to be okay if you go in there on your own? No. Okay. Then you need someone to go with you, so you're not so squishy.
Okay. Are
Do
you
you want me to go?
volunteering?
Yeah, I'll go with. Yeah.
With your squishy brain?
Yeah. I've done shrooms before. I'm sure going into the missing isn't that much different.
Well, it might help. Who knows? Ah,
I come out and become more intelligent. Whoa.
I say, that was most enlightening. Good heavens.
Well, if the Brotherhood hits the front door at the same time, we might actually all just be able to get into the back door. You're right. We've got the armored cart. We could just roll it up and go in. Hit them hard and fast.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to lose your mind, Rex. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Meanwhile, back in the operating room.
On the subject of wasting minds.
Terminator
Weaves, you're struggling to remain conscious, but they don't appear to be sedating you in any way, but they are attaching equipment to your head in uncomfortable ways. So they've got metal plates screwed down over your eye and next to the side of your eye, and Leon's hiding behind Cthulhu because it's upsetting him. And they've got this thing in your ear, and they've set something up over one of your eyes that's like a translucent lens, maybe amber or something like that. And you can feel them attaching wires to the sides of your head and connecting them to something up behind you.
I'm looking over my abilities real quick.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got anything though.
You'd be surprised, actually. I think deceive and religion will work here. Because your faith will shield you. And your ability to deceive will mean that you'll be able to continue not telling them the truth.
Okay.
So if you could make a deceive and religion roll.
Can it be deceive and occult? I don't actually have any ranks in religion.
It would have to be religion rather than occult, because it's belief that's the strength. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But deceive is good.
I'm not quite pious enough.
Ishra, please save me, Ishra. Oh God,
Ishra,
I swear.
we haven't talked in a while.
Oh
God,
please.
Time.
She's just eating an enormous celestial fly. Oh fuck! Oh, one of my children. Shit. Okay, I'll come back to this.
All right. Well, I'm going to try. I've got to re-roll.
Got to re-roll.
All right.
All is not lost.
Got to be better than 2, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
That's a tainted success.
So this pulse of otherworldly weirdness just blasts through your head. You feel your entire mind stretched out across 1,000,000 years and 1,000,000 miles, and yet at the same time compressed into a single tiny, infinitesimally small speck. Space, time, reality all cease to exist and all become the sole focus of your attention, as everything you know and think you know is instantly projected onto the inside of your eyeballs. You cling on by the skin of your teeth and manage to only project a tiny bit of the truth out through this machine. And you can hear the two of them talking out like they're hundreds of miles away. There's this, they're definitely communicating with one another. And then it stops and you kind of snap back into yourself with a speed that is both instantaneous and lasts for all eternity.
Do I know what I told them? Or do I know what I showed them?
You know you've told them something from your childhood. How useful it will be to them, you don't know.
Fair enough.
Your mind is strong, says the doctor, close to your head, and you see him sort of loom in your perception through the eye that isn't covered. You are powerful indeed. Few have resisted this far. Now,
Ishkra protects her children,
maybe,
just as I
maybe.
protect mine.
But let's see how this works. And he attaches a few more wires around your jaw and presses a jewel into the center of your head, and then pulls this spiked galvanic device that's pulsing with electricity down, so it's pointing right at the jewel. Nurse, flick the switch. And the nurse does something on the other side of the room, and a combination of electroshock and this reality warping thing behind you kicks in again. Can you make another deceive and religion? Actually, no. Do you want to make a deceive and religion roll or an investigate and occult roll? I will let you choose which one
They're
you want
going to
do.
be the same.
But they will give you different things. Deceive and religion will enable you to fight the power and resist, but investigate and occult will allow you to push in and see what you can find out within.
Yeah. Fuck resisting. I'm a fighter, bitch. I may not act it, but bet your ass I am. I'm going to take that.
So this time when the wave hits you, you take another point of mind stress, but you try to ride it. So you throw yourself onto the wave and you ride it backwards into the machine and into the heart. And you can feel its red, wet, pulsating mass, the beat of it thundering deep in your soul. But sat on top of this titanic heart is a tiny, tiny spider. And you know that Ishkra is with you. And then there's a smell of burning and an electrical snap, and you're back in the room, and the galvanic device in front of you appears to have burned out. Like, how did she do that? Nurse, how has she done that? Quick, remove the device, remove it, sedate her. And you feel another injection stab its way into you, and you slide out of consciousness once more. And we will leave it there. Ooh. So the boys are all geared up to invade, and Weaves is inside the machine.
Yeah, damn. What a tense situation. Holy shit.
Yeah. Shit got real fast.
Wow.
So, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Thank you, players, for coming along and helping me tell our little story. We will see what happens next week in the finale of Bedlam Hill.
Yeah, holy shit. Will I make it out with my brain intact?
Will you?
Same question to the Vermisian Sage.
Already too late.
Worth wondering.
All right, I can always just take you all out to the Vermisian. Physically, you'll be fine.
Physically.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for coming and watching tonight. Thank you, everybody, for coming and playing tonight. Next week on Garblag Games, we hope to return you to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
So on Tuesday, we are starting, hopefully, Worlds Without Number world building thing with Pete.
Yes.
Wednesday will be Once Upon a Time in the Old World. Thursday should be Traveller, fingers crossed, Team Dodgy and maybe Team Science going in together to do some dodgy science.
Yeah, as you do.
Then Friday next week is the finale of Bedlam Hill, to be followed the following 2 weeks by Pat.
Change stars! Guess what, everybody? I have a game that I'm making.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
So Changed Stars is kickstarting next week.
Yes, the 21st. It's
21st.
starting the 21st.
Kickstarting on the 21st. We're not going to be the first to run it. Hopefully, we were hoping to scoop it, but
Sorry.
and Pat letting other people scoop us. So
we were scheduled for later, but they moved it up. I'm sorry.
that's cool. If you want to go and see Changed Stars being played on Level 1 Geek,
Yup. They did
you
a
can
great
do.
job.
Come along to the Discord, and Pat will share a link to their game, or already has done. But then
yes.
the last 2 Fridays in April, we're going to run some Changed Stars here, so we will see what's whatting.
Yeah. Do you want to link to the Kickstarter page? Because I would absolutely love. I can't share things on my own, but I would absolutely love for
Yes,
any
stick
of
it in
you
the Zoom
interested
chat, and I can
supporting
throw
my-
it across.
Zoom chat, got it. Any of you interested in supporting my artistic endeavors and content creation team? You know, we're very grassrootsy indie devs here. We're just trying to make our way in the galaxy, right? So
there's
check out
the
Changed Stars.
Kickstarter for Changed Stars, and we're going to have a bit of a go at doing some of that after we've finished Spire. So we'll see what we can put together and show off the game for you then. But for now, that is all the time we have. Thank you very much, and good night.
Bye.
Woo! Good night.